what? Explain to me in your best words, what was Roman's plan? Forget what went wrong. What was his plan? And welcome back to another episode of Six and Below. This week we're on a journey with this lot because family. I'm Erik. This is Darren.
Welcome into Six and Below Movie Podcast.
Cue the intro.
So, Erik.
Yeah.
The Fast and Furious franchise.
Yes. Number 10.
World.
Number 10.
I don't know how they've done number 10.
I can't believe they made it past number 2, to be honest.
Can I say something?
Go on.
Okay, right. Yeah,
You can say anything you want, my friend.
yeah, it's one question that is impossible to answer.
Yeah.
How have somebody gone from being illegal street racers to going into space, I think it's like number 8 or 9, and now working for some secret agency saving the world left, right, and centre?
Honestly, I don't know. Like, I've thought this since, since Fast and the Furious 5. I will say right now that I've not seen number 8 and 9, so I've kind of skipped from number 7, which I think is the last one Paul Walker was in, to this one, number 10. So I've not really got some of the backstory that's happened. So there's a few characters that have turned up in this, and I'm like, who the fuck are they? Oh, by the way, I'm trying not to swear this week, so if you catch me, I'm really sorry. Someone kindly pointed out to Darren that I swear a little bit too much in these videos. What did he say I was?
You pretty much go full-blown Tourette's mode. I can't remember what the exact comment was.
I think his friend messaged him after watching one of the videos and said, yeah, I enjoyed the video, but serious question, does your mate have Tourette's? So, and a few people have mentioned to me that I maybe need to tone back the language a bit. So this week's episode, if I start to look a little bit constipated, it's because I'm trying not to swear. So anyway, as I was saying, we went from the original Fast and the Furious where, yeah, they were street racers, but they were also kind of pulling heists, weren't they? Well, not so much heists, but they were robbing trucks.
Yeah, robbing trucks of like VCRs and stuff.
Yeah, I do agree with you. How do you go from robbing trucks to working for some agency? And I mean, yeah, it doesn't compute because although I've missed two episodes, well, not episodes, 2 films in the series, I do kind of think, well, what the hell has happened in them 2 episodes that they're now suddenly secret agents? It's really, really weird.
So have you seen the episode? Sorry,
the
episode. That's what it feels like. Episodes. It doesn't feel like a proper film. It's weird. Yeah. So have you seen the film where John Cena comes in as his brother?
No.
Right. Okay. That one was just like really, really weird because it just introduces him like on the 8th film. Out of nowhere. It's never mentioned that he's had a brother, and it's John Cena, who's like an evil bad guy trying to blow stuff up with nuclear weapons and stuff. It's like, what?
Well, I was thinking when he turns up, because obviously I had no context going into this, that, like you say, Dom even had a brother. And I'm there trying to rack my brain thinking back, because I know there's a whole story about Dom's dad was racing and Dom's dad died in a race, if I remember rightly, and I think Dom ended up going to prison or getting a criminal record for beating up the guy. And I was kind of thinking, well, was there a brother mentioned in it? Because obviously we know he's got a sister, but I don't ever recall in any of the previous films that I had seen that there was ever a brother mentioned. And then all of a sudden he's come out of nowhere and what is he supposed to? Is he G.I. Joe? Is he Action Man? I don't know.
Pretty much.
Who's trained him? Where's he come from? Where's but we'll get into that. But where's he been all these years?
So the thing that gets me as well, right? For somebody who goes on about family all the time, he forgets he's got a brother.
Well, exactly. Yeah. He'll take anyone off the street and make them his family. But yeah, his own actual brother, he just doesn't. He never gets mentioned up until, well, for me personally, this film. But obviously, what do you know? What film he comes in? Is it number 8? Is it?
I think it's number 8.
Well, so is he the main antagonist in number 8? Is it?
Yeah.
Have you seen number 8?
I have, but I can't remember it completely off the top of my head because it's been a while. But I've not seen number 9 yet. That was on my list to do, and it is actually on our list of 6 and below. I think it's like 5.9 or something.
Because I will be honest, I was tempted. I kind of didn't really have the time this week to actually go and watch 8 and 9 to kind of fill myself in on them. But like I said, I didn't really have time, and this one alone is over 2 hours long.
Yeah, the long films.
And I usually like to give the films a couple of watches in the week, so I didn't really have time. But I'm kind of tempted now after watching this to kind of go back and see if it does fill in any gaps, because there were a few people. It's like I was going to mention later on, but it's like Han, this chap here. Last time I seen him, he was being shot up by Jason Statham in Tokyo.
Yeah.
And then you've got Gal Gadot, or whatever her name is, Wonder Woman, who makes an appearance at the end. And like last time I seen her, I'm pretty sure like she died on some plane or something on I don't know which one it was, but it was that one where they're going down the runway on the plane, and the runway is like the longest runway in the world, and it takes them like half an hour to take off. And I'm pretty sure she died in that one. And then all of a sudden she's making an appearance towards the end, and it's like, hold on, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, they do tend to do this on Fast and Furious, where they think they're dead and then come back alive and all this stuff. Like I say, spoiler warnings, by the way, if you've not seen this one.
Spoiler alert.
But yeah, it's worth a watch anyway. For a couple of interesting things as well about this, because I've just been watching a little bit of the making of, which is quite interesting, to be honest. It's over on YouTube. You can catch the making of Fast and Furious 10. Definitely worth a watch. But when I was watching it, I noticed that it was really over the top with CGI. And my suspicions were true when I watched the making of. Pretty much every single scene, there's a blue screen around them, even when they stood on the bridge in Rio. Like, why can't you just go to the scene? Or the car crash scenes are all CGI'd into it. So a lot of the car crashes that you see, like when the ball's rolling through Rome, instead of it being like props, it's all computer animated and all CGI, and it's just like over the top, and it kills it.
I know what you mean, because we've mentioned this on our previous podcasts when we've reviewed older films that are like action films, like Mortal Kombat, for instance. That was a good example, because you can kind of see where they used to actually go on set somewhere and actually do like set design or go to actual locations to film them, and they were more what's the word I'm looking for? Not CGI, but more what's the word? Not physical effects. What are they called? I'd
probably say more physical effects, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, there's a term a lot. I can't think off the top of my head, but you know what I mean. Where it's not CGI. It's more. It's like if for instance in this, if back in the 90s or whatever, if they were going to crash two cars together, they were going to get two cars and they were going to crash them together. They weren't going to computer generate it, and it does kind of ruin it, because it almost as well, it allows them, which they do a lot in this film, to kind of push the boundaries of what's realistic.
Yeah.
Like to the point of, I honestly thought at one point that I was thinking, when did this become a fantasy film? I mean, I would probably rate this now on par with, say, Harry Potter or Lord of the Bloody Rings.
Yeah, I was going to say that myself. I was expecting in the street race when it happening, is Harry Potter just whizzed past on his wand, or just on his bloody broomstick.
Or they accidentally run over Gandalf.
Yeah.
Or Gandalf comes out and says to the bad guy, "You shall not pass." Do you know what I mean? It's,
That's it. And for all this instances, right, I've actually made a new button for this.
Yeah?
Bullshit!
Oh, yes. So I'm not allowed to swear, but...
It's the bullshit button.
Yeah, the bullshit button. Yeah.
Right. Because there is a lot of scenes in this, right, where you got to call bullshit. You really have, honestly. It's ridiculous.
You may as well just end it now. Just press bullshit and say that's the whole film.
Pretty much. Something that is actually quite good, though, is doing all the scenes with Jason Momoa where he's going around on his bike through Rome and stuff. He's actually done all his own stunts.
See, I was wondering that, because I know when Letty's following him on the bikes, she's got a helmet on, so obviously they're using a stunt guy, but then he doesn't, and there's quite a lot of scenes, like you say, where you can see him, and I was thinking, well, I know these sometimes in films they'll either use, like you say, the green screen, or when they're doing things like that, they'll pull them along on a trailer in the back of the car, so it looks like they're kind of driving down the street.
Yeah, but even going up and down the steps and the jumps, he's done it all himself.
There are some, I was going to say there are some wide-angle scenes where you can clearly see that it is him, not like an American Ninja where it's some poor Indian guy who gets his face smashed in when he jumps over the wall.
That's funny, that scene.
Oh, I know.
That's so funny. Joe just looks over his shoulder.
It's
like, yeah, smashed that.
Yeah, smashed that. And it's like, you never, mate. You kind of, you owe that stunt guy quite a lot of money now.
Yeah. And again, with the making of as well, which I found quite interesting in a way and quite surprising. But the little kid, little Dom or whatever his name, little Brian.
Little B, yeah.
Yeah, little B, right? Every single scene where he's a passenger in a car, like the chase scene at the end with Dante and with his dad as well in a car, that is all blue screened, right? And the car is on like a big simulator. Like the old rides that you used to go in and you're moving around. It's like that. And it's like, come on, I know it's health and safety and stuff, but you're literally driving down the road. Can you not?
I think that's what it is, because they couldn't put a kid in the car.
Yeah, I think it's down to health and safety. I think they were saying.
You think that like they couldn't take a stunt driver and stick the kid in with them and do it that way? They had, well, could they not have just got like a little person, like
Like when he's drifting at the start.
Yeah, because I mean, they could have just done what they did in Fred Claus and just superimposed his face on like Ludacris. I mean, through this whole film, I couldn't look at Ludacris properly again after watching Fred Claus.
You've grown a bit.
I don't know if you've seen it, but obviously it's not Christmas anymore. But if you ever get the chance, watch Fred Claus and just have a look at what they've done to Ludacris. Basically, they've got a little fella who plays the role, a little dwarf, or I don't know what the politically correct term is for them, a dwarf. Little person. They've got a little person to obviously, or a kid to play the role, and then they've superimposed Ludacris's face on it. But all the way through this now, I'm just looking at it and I'm like, is that actual Ludacris, or is he just superimposed his face? Now, I'm starting a conspiracy theory online that Ludacris doesn't actually exist. He's not a real person. He's just computer generated. So you can follow my Facebook page. It's called Ludacris Ain't Real.
Do you know what? I bet you if you actually look out there, there's this page made up of that.
Probably.
It definitely is. Something along them lines. Just going on the previous titles as well.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, because this is Fast X.
Yes.
Right. X is obviously for the Roman numerals for 10. So, oh, God, where do we start? Right. I mean, let's start from the beginning. The very first one is called The Fast and the Furious. The second one is Too Fast, Too Furious using numerical.
Yeah, so
right?
so
it's like the number 2 for it, not TWL.
What, the Arabic numerals?
Yeah, right.
Is it Arabic?
And
numerals?
then we got
something like that.
The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
Then you got Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Then you got Fast 5, spelled FIVE.
Yeah.
Not using a number. Then you got Fast and Furious 6, using a number.
Yeah.
Then you got Furious 7 with the number. The Fate of the Furious in brackets F8. And then they just couldn't be asked trying to like think of something else to confuse everybody, so they put F9.
Yeah.
Fast X. What the fuck?
Well, I think after the next one, they might do a spin-off called FU, which is for the kids because it's rated U.
See, I was thinking, right, the next song, go predict it, right? It's going to be Fast X1.
Really? I wonder
obviously
what
311. But the way they're doing it, it wouldn't surprise me if the way they do that, because if you don't know, if you've not seen this one, Fast X is a part 1. There's going to be a part 2 because the way they finish it. Every other Fast and Furious films, it pretty much finishes the storyline.
A little fact that I did read, I don't know how true it is, but I think initially, from what I've gathered, they're trying to wrap the series up, which is about time. So this one, like Darren says, is a 2-parter. But I think originally it was supposed to be a 3-parter.
Oh, no.
Now, I'm not sure whether it's because of the way this has been received by the general public and critics alike, that I get the impression that they cancelled the 3rd one. I don't know. Like I say, it was just a snippet that I read when I was doing a little bit of research for this. But I think it was supposed to originally be a 3-part thing, so I don't know what they're going to have cut out or whatever. Yeah. But there's a lot of stars in this film as well. There was more people showing up than I expected to be in a Fast and the Furious film, to be honest.
Have you seen the spin-off?
No.
Yeah, they got a spin-off as well.
Oh, the
called
Hobbs and Shaw thing.
Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, so that was kind of when I lost interest, because I remember seeing Hobbs and Shaw in one of them. I don't know who's who, so I'm just going to call Jason Statham Hobbs and Shaw throughout this, just so you know. Hobbs and or Shaw.
Hobbs is The Rock.
Yeah. Oh, it's Hobbs the Rock, so he's Shaw. Yeah. Because, pardon me, isn't there one of them when... Don't they get accused of killing his brother in one of them, and then he comes after them or something? So how did all that get resolved? Because
I can't remember that one, mate. That one went a bit silly as well. Idris Elba's in that one.
Well, the last time I seen Jason Statham he was hunting them down, and I'm pretty sure he's the one that killed this fella, Han.
Yeah.
In Tokyo, but then they kind of built it into the Tokyo Drift, because in Tokyo Drift, Han dies, but in a car crash. But then it turns out at the end of one of them that Jason Statham was there.
Yeah, he crashes into his car at the end. So then he gets out and then throws a lighter or blows it up or does something anyway to make it look like he's done it on purpose. Obviously,
he doesn't do his job well because he never finished him off. I mean, you were there, you probably had a gun, just 2 bullets to the head. Come on, mate. You know.
Yeah, just get out.
You're supposed to be this badass assassin or whatever the hell you're supposed to be. I don't actually know what he's supposed to be in there. All I know is that he meets him and. We'll talk about when we meet him in a bit. But what is with the guy? And it's Jason Statham in the film. So all I was thinking was what you've said throughout our podcast. I'm thinking, what job does this guy have? What's he posing as now? What is he, the cleaner?
Yeah, because he has a job title for everything he does in this film.
Yeah.
The mechanic, the new one, which is coming out soon. I checked on IMDb, and I think it's like 6.4 out of 7. The beekeeper.
There's that of what? The
mechanic.
There's one marine biologist was the Meg one. Yeah, sorry, I got confused with that one. We said that in a previous podcast. Yeah.
He's done a hit out on the shark.
Yeah. So,
right.
If you need a shark destroying, call the marine biologist. Jason Statham is a carrot.
Go do the vitals?
Yeah. So
I'll start then.
Go on, yeah, please.
Okay, released in 2023, runtime 2 hours and 20 minutes. IMDb rating is 5.6, Metacritic 42. Rotten Tomatoes, critic 56, audience 84.
See, I did get the impression that this film was probably panned by the critics, and I know I'm kind of spoiling our own kind of thing, but I do think the rating on IMDb for this was a bit harsh. But I don't know. It's one of these. I don't know how to feel about this film. I really don't. I don't know how to feel about it. But obviously we'll discuss this as we go on. I don't want to jump too far ahead. I don't want to give too much away. But yeah, so that's kind of. But I will admit as well, this week I did have a sneaky little peek at what the budget was, because looking at this, I was thinking CGI, and we know from previous ones that we've covered that
expensive.
As soon as you see a little bit of CGI in here, you need to add 100 million. So please do tell us, how much did this cost?
The budget?
Yeah, go on.
340 million.
I know. I mean, I imagine they've got to number 10, so I imagine they made a lot of money from the other they have they just took all their money and kind of just put it all into this? Or, and the other thing I wanted to know, I don't know if you can answer this. I don't know if anyone else out there can answer. If you can, please leave a comment, or you can email us on sixandbelowpodcast@gmail.com. But something I really want to know is this franchise owned by Vin Diesel?
He's a producer.
Or does he have some kind of part in it? Because I'm pretty sure, obviously, because he was in the first one, but then he wasn't in the second or third one until he had a cameo at the end of the third one, which was Tokyo Drift, which I think was actually in the series of events was like the fifth one or something. I don't know. I kind of lost track at that point. But I noticed he's obviously in it, and he's bringing people in. And I know there was a bit of back in, I don't know which one it was, it might have been Fast and Furious 8, but I know he had a falling out with The Rock and all stuff like that. But it's kind of like he keeps bringing people in, but I kind of, although it's supposed to be a family, and you do get the impression, because the chemistry between them is quite good, that they could even be a family offset as well.
Yeah, I mean, like with Ludacris and etc.
They could be very close offset as well. So, and he's kind of bringing in the talent and stuff like that. But I just get the impression that, as well as running the show in the film, he's also possibly running the show outside of the film as well. Like, it's become his franchise.
I feel like that as well.
Originally, I would have said it was more Brian Walker, or what's his name in real life? Not Brian Walker.
Paul Walker.
That it was more of his franchise to start with, because he was in the first one and he was in the second one with Roman. And then, like I say, then you had Tokyo Drift, which had that weird kid who looked about 40 but was playing a high school student in Japan.
Oh, Lil Bow Wow.
And then Little Bow Wow in it as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Which at least he did look like a child in it.
True. He still does.
Well, yeah, and then you had DK, Drift King, and all that. I just couldn't get my head around it. Like, I don't know. Someone said to me the other day that was their favourite Fast and the Furious, and I was like, have you seen any of the others?
What, Tokyo Drift?
Yeah.
I like it, to be honest, yeah. But I think it's up there.
I know. I've not seen it in a while, and I don't remember it being a particularly bad film, but I wouldn't definitely say it wouldn't be my favourite. I'd say the first one would definitely be my favourite out of all of them.
Yeah.
It's the more grounded one.
Yeah, I think what it is with the Tokyo Drift is
practical effects,
because they've got really nice cars like the Skylines and the Nissan 350s and stuff like that, all done up. And when they're doing the drifting, that is proper skill. Do you know what I mean? So you got to appreciate that side of things. My favourite car
in the whole world is a Nissan Skyline.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
I think it's the R34. Is it the one they use in the film, the silver one with blue? And then obviously now they've upgraded it to the GTR, and every time I see one of them GTRs drive past, I literally, and I mean literally, not figuratively, literally jizz in my pants. I would sell my wife for one of them cars. I really would. I'd put her on the corner and get enough money. Do you know they stopped selling them in the UK?
Have they?
Yeah, you can't buy a brand new one. I think it's due to European emissions. They don't pass the European emissions.
Right.
So, because I was looking into them the other week, because I was like curious, what does one of them cost? And I was having a look, and like you can buy second-hand ones, obviously, but you can't buy a brand new one in the UK because of the emissions laws or something. It was either the emissions laws or it was the audio laws. I might be wrong on that one. I think it might be. Emissions probably makes more sense, but it's something like that. But you can't buy a brand new one in the UK anymore.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely ridiculous because it's a brilliant car.
Especially in London, anyway. You got to be screwed, aren't you, going down there?
You are. But going back to what I was saying before, practical effects is the word I was looking for. It just suddenly popped into my head. So obviously, in the original Fast and the Furious, there was a lot more practical effects than there were in this. But even to the point where, like later on, like I think the worst kind of practical CGI in this whole film is when they're driving down the dam towards the end, or we'll get inside of it, and it follows his arm down to press the button, and that just looks so fake. I've seen better graphics in GTA 5.
Yeah.
I do get the impression that whoever wrote this film and produced it and kind of directed it, or anyone who was involved with it, has played a bit too much of GTA 5 online, because there is so much stuff in it where I'm like, I've seen that on GTA. I've seen that on GTA. Yeah. I've seen them on GTA. This is GTA Online in real life.
In the film.
that sums up the film, or in the film, because obviously it's a fantasy film, because none of this stuff that happens in this film could happen. I mean, like I say, we'll get into it, but anyway, so are you done with the vitals there?
No, not yet.
Box office, sorry, yeah.
704 million.
Wow.
Made quite a lot of money there, at least doubled.
See, they've got a strong following, haven't they? They've got a strong fan base. I
think that's where they've done well.
Even my mum, every the last few years when one of these films has come out, even my mum, who's a 70-year-old woman, has said to me, "Oh, will you come and watch the new Fast and the Furious with me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course, mum." And I never go. I do feel a bit bad, sorry, mum, but it's just not. It's kind of not my cup of tea.
Have you seen the one with Helen Mirren in the past?
No.
Okay,
literally before watching this, the last bit of Fast and the Furious I seen was Paul Walker driving off into the sunset,
right,
with his CGI face on.
Yeah. So,
and
there's one of them, right? There's one of them with Helen Mirren, or whatever her name is, right?
Yeah.
So when they introduce her, the first scene you see her, she's in like a McLaren or something, drifting it, racing it through London. Yeah.
Okay.
That says it all.
Okay.
So let's get on to the top grossing films of 2023 when this film came out.
This came out last year, did it?
Yeah, last year it was.
Right, okay.
Just don't forget, it's only January now, isn't it? So,
January 24, yeah.
So, other top grossing films of 2023, we got Barbie, Super Mario Brothers, and Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
So, we've gone through them quite a few times, haven't we, already, really? Because how many films we've done already of 2023?
We've done Captain Marvel, which we've seen at the cinema, and then came straight back here to do a review. And I think we did one recently, didn't we? That was 2023. Oh, God, I can't remember what bloody films we've done now. What other ones have we done that was 2023?
Shazam.
Oh, Shazam, that was it. Yeah, Shazam.
Same time, then.
Yeah, Shazam.
Shazam.
Yeah.
Okay, and other films. So this one is number 5 in the ranking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's the 5th highest ranking of last year for gross. This movie was higher grossing than Spider-Man Across the Universe, Little Mermaid, so you're quite disappointed about that one.
Oh, yeah, God.
John Wick 4.
Sorry?
John Wick 4.
John Wick 4.
Yeah.
Do you like the John Wick franchise?
I do, to be honest with you. I think the first one's a really good one. Second one is good. Third one goes a little bit OTT. And then the fourth one, it's just pretty much...
What are the ratings on them?
Killing.
Are there any that we could do on this?
No, they're all about 8, 7.5.
I've seen the first one, and I've seen probably about the first half an hour of the second one before I think I napped through the rest of it and never started watching it.
Honestly?
Yeah, I don't know. The first one was good, but it kind of started to...
Whoa. Right, the way you just said the first one was good, you're kind of questioning it, whether it was a good film or not.
I am questioning whether it is a good film. It's not that it's not a good film. It's a good action film, and I like Keanu Reeves.
It's a superb film.
But it...
oh, my God, it's in the top 10.
I don't know. It just seems a bit out there.
Right, okay, if you thought that was out there, watch number 4.
Not so much out there. I don't know. I don't. It's a good film. It's a good film. I would recommend it to people. I'd say, you're not seen John Wick. Go and watch John Wick. But the second one, it just kind of started to kind of bore me to the beginning. To be honest, if I'm being completely honest with myself, I don't think I really gave the second one much of a chance. Like, it was kind of, I put it on a Saturday afternoon. I was already feeling a bit sleepy, and within half an hour I'd nodded off. So I should maybe go back and revisit it. But then I blinked, and all of a sudden they're on number 4, and it's like, God damn it, I don't think I'm going to have a chance to catch up on these, to be honest.
Oh, definitely worth catching up. See, the thing is, right, number 1 with the fight scenes and stuff, did you like them? When he was like shooting them close range and he's doing his like Jim Carrey type shit?
Yeah. Right? In a way.
Well,
I prefer it was almost like kind of hand-to-hand combat, but with guns.
Yeah.
And I'd rather just one or the other, to be honest. Mainly hand-to-hand combat.
See, number 4, there's literally one point where it's literally 40 minutes straight, no dialogue, where he's just going from one room to another room, killing everybody. And then even I was like, I love the action films and stuff, but
I mean,
this is a little bit too much.
I mean, how difficult is it to just kill one man?
Oh, quite difficult if you're John Wick.
I know.
But anyway,
I mean,
let's get on to what we're reviewing today. Do you want to let us know who it's directed, written, and who it stars?
Yeah, so there are 2 directors for this film. There's Lewis. I'm gonna ruin these names. I do it every week. I'm no good with names, but basically Louis or Louis Leterrier is the first director. He previous films he's directed The Incredible Hulk, The Transporter. Yeah, with Jason Statham. Now You See Me, which is quite a good film. That's the ones with the magicians, isn't it? With Woody Harrelson and...
oh, that is a good one.
Yeah, so he directed that one. I'm just looking at Grimsby. Have you ever seen The Brothers Grimsby with Sacha Baron Cohen?
I like that one.
That's quite good. It is quite funny, that, to be honest.
To be fair, I actually looked on IMDb what the rating was, and it was 6.4.
Oh, it's 6.2.
Oh, 6.2, sorry.
Yeah, so we can't even do that, because I thought that would have been panned a bit, because I think it would have been more geared towards a British audience, because there's a lot of kind of British jokes in it, isn't there?
Yeah.
But no, that's a good one if you're going to go and watch it, if you enjoy like British humour and stuff.
Can I just say one scene I love on that?
Well,
have you seen it recently or anything?
Probably about a year ago.
Right, so there's one of the bits where Sacha Cohen, or whatever his name is, yeah. Is it Sacha Baron Cohen?
Sacha Baron Cohen?
Yeah, so it's Sacha, his first name.
Yeah, Sacha, yeah.
So Sacha's brother is like a secret agent and stuff like for like the MI5, and he's coming home for like visiting, and he tells him not to tell anybody. So he goes to the pub, comes through the door. It's like a big surprise party. It was like, surprise! He's like, oh my God, I've told you not to tell anybody. He's like, I've not told anybody. Have I told you guys? They're like, he's coming down. I'm like, no.
He's on the run, isn't he? So he obviously doesn't want to be found, and he just wouldn't. He's done a Clash of the Titans, Transporter 2, so he's done both the Transporter films. I did like the first Transporter, I'll be honest. Back in the day.
I can't remember it, to be honest.
2002, Jason Statham, I think. Had he just come off Snatch at that point? Because I think the only film I really liked Jason Statham in was Snatch.
Yeah.
If you've never seen Snatch, you need to watch Snatch. Guy Ritchie film, brilliant film. And then the other director we have is Justin Lin. So other films he has directed, he was involved with Fast and the Furious 9, Fast and the Furious 6. He's done some TV work. He was a executive producer on SWAT, the new series of Magnum PI. He was an executive producer on that. He was an executive producer on Space Jam: A New Legacy, producer on Fast and Furious 9. So he's done a lot of producing work. But yeah, so he's one of the co-directors on this. So the writers for this film, there was 3 writers. We've got Dan Mazzeo. Again, I'm probably butchering the name. So looking at this, he has previously wrote a screenplay for Wrath of the Titans back in 2012, and then he's done the screenplay for this. Yep. So not much really work under his belt that I can see. But and then we have other writer is Justin Lin, who is also like one of the directors. Yep. So he's done a bit of writing on this one. And then the final writer is Zach Dean. So Zach Dean has done...
So how many writers are there in total?
3 writers in total, yeah, sorry. So he's looking at this previous Deadfall, 2012. That rings a bell, but I don't know if I've seen that. 24 Hours to Live, The Tomorrow War, and then this Fast X. So
I like The Tomorrow War.
I've not seen Tomorrow War.
Tom Cruise, really good.
Isn't that Live, Die, Repeat? Isn't that Edge of Tomorrow?
Oh shit! No, Tomorrow War's the one with Chris Pratt.
Yeah. Is that the one where the
Star-Lord
go into the future or something? Yeah,
yeah. I have seen it. Yeah, that is good though as well.
I think I might have seen that. So, and then the film stars, well, pick someone in Hollywood. That about covers it. No, but seriously, so obviously we have Vin Diesel as Dominic Toretto, we have Michelle Rodriguez as Letty, Jason Statham as Shaw, Jordana Brewster as Mia, Tyrese Gibson as Roman. We have Ludacris, who, as I mentioned before, doesn't actually exist, as Tej. Natalie Emmanuel as Ramsey, Charlize Theron. I don't know how they got Charlize Theron in this film, but yeah, she's a Cypher. We have John Cena as Jacob. We have Sung Kang as Han. Helen Mirren as Queenie. We have Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, as I'm probably going to call her throughout this, as Tess. We have Scott Eastwood as Little Nobody. We have Jason Momoa as Dante. And we have Alan Ritchson as Ames, or Jack Reacher, as I'm going to call him in this. And then we have Leo Albero Perry as Little Brian, which I have quite a few questions about Little Brian, which I'm hoping that someone out there or you might be able to answer.
DNA testing done, don't there?
There's something going on there because I'm pretty sure neither Letty or Dom is that kid's parent. Well, no, because I'm assuming one of the parents is like African descent.
Yeah, but Letty's not the mum, though.
I'm going to be tiptoeing around politically correct terms in this, so if I do get any wrong, I do apologise in advance. But basically, someone in that boy's DNA is black, and Dom isn't black, and neither's Letty. In fact, Dom looks more kind of Latino.
But what I'm saying is, though, Letty's not the actual mum.
Well, no, obviously, because neither of them are going to make an African child.
In one of the films, I think it's Fast Five.
Right.
Letty and Dom wasn't together.
No, they weren't, because
and then she got together with.
Didn't she have amnesia at one point or something?
Oh God, no! Yeah, she did, didn't she?
Because
but Dom,
she's another one who died and came back to life, isn't she? I forgot about that. So she's died like 17 times in the past. Because how did she die now? Didn't she?
A car crash.
Yeah, car
got
crash.
Assassinated, but then she didn't.
And all of a sudden she's alive again because don't her and Brian, Dom and Brian kind of start working for some smugglers, and then they find out that she's alive, but she has amnesia of all. So you'd think at that point when they're coming up with amnesia storylines that they kind of run out of ideas.
Yeah, tell me.
That's usually like, I know in like a television program, as soon as they get to the amnesia episode, you know they've run out of ideas.
Right, so on one of the other episodes, right, have you seen the one where...
Episodes.
Yeah. That's why it feels like a TV series.
It does feel like a TV
film.
series.
It's weird.
So an episode.
Okay. Yeah, so on one of the other films, have you seen the one where it's The Rock, where he comes in, and then there's a helicopter where they catapult a car into a helicopter, and then The Rock gets a big bloody chain gun, kills them all.
I know,
it's like on top of a multi-story car park.
I know, because Dom was banging that woman who was like kind of The Rock's partner.
That's the mum.
Yeah, that's the mum. She's white.
I know.
She's Brazilian. She's Brazilian. So, but she's not African, and that kid is purely. Let's not
beat around the bush.
He's black.
It's pretty much right.
Definitely...
Me, Myself, and Irene.
Yeah. With the three lads. Yeah. Basically. So I know. I think what I can't get is, because I know there's a lot of movement towards like this kind of woke stuff. Like, have you ever seen that film with Dev Patel in? I think it's based on a Charles Dickens movie. David Copperfield, is it? David Copperfield, right? Have you never seen that film? Right. No. So basically, in the film, they have it's like one of these woke things where they've done colorblind, colorblind casting, right? So in that film, it's so goddamn confusing because at one point you've got an Indian lad, Dev Patel, who's the main character, right? And then it's like his mum's black, and I mean like Africa, deepest part of Africa black.
Yeah.
And then you've got other people who are like supposed to be his sister who's white or something like that. You know, they've gone off like the acting skill of the I don't know if they've even gone off the acting skill of the people, but anyway, they've not kind of. It's like if you brought a Chinese child here and said that this was my kid, and I was like, no, not adopted, not fostered. We've done DNA tests. This is my child.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's not. It's clearly Asian.
Or Hollywood.
Woke Hollywood. So the point I'm getting at is I just didn't know whether that was kind of the route they were trying to go down. That they were trying to say that Dom suddenly has a black child, even though Dom's not black. And if you're telling me, then you're right that the mum was that woman from the first one, who is possibly the whitest Brazilian woman I've ever seen in my life. That was the mum. So.
I know.
I mean,
I'm just going to change the subject quickly.
I'm sorry, I just it just confused me. Like,
deeper hole.
Don't get me wrong, it's not enough to ruin the film, but it's just with me not seeing the other films, it was just all of a sudden. Hold on, so this kid's Dom's. Oh, he's adopted a kid. Oh no, it is his kid. But, so who's so he's obviously got with someone else at some point. But the only woman I can remember is like say the Rock's partner, and then you come out and say yeah, that's his mum, and I'm like no, sorry, what? No, what?
Yeah.
Sorry, it doesn't confuse.
That was.
But then again, having watched this whole film, it's clearly a fantasy film up there, like we said with Harry Potter. So yeah, well, why not? Maybe he magicked him up. Maybe he made a spell. Maybe he got Harry Potter down and said, "Come on, Harry, do me a favor. I need a kid. What hue do you want? I don't know, black." There we go. Yeah, sorted. But yeah. Well, if he is going around adopting children, then fair enough. But then
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, he's pulled an Angelina. He's gone to Africa and found a kid and said, "Yeah, you'll do."
Yeah, pretty much. Right, okay. Okay, so it was one of the most expensive movies ever recorded, this one, yeah, with a budget. So approximately 100 million, or a bit over, was spent on the wages alone.
What?
Yes, exactly.
Well, I suppose, like, look, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Yeah,
Some
so
of
this
them
is
a big
not,
name.
This is not including, like, Brie Larson or Jack Reacher or some of the other characters as well.
Jack Reacher's not as well known. I'd say probably the highest grossed. You probably got Vin Diesel's probably taken a chunk. Jason Momoa's quite hot at the moment, so he's probably taken a chunk.
Right, how much do you reckon Vin Diesel was paid?
Right, I reckon. To be honest, I reckon we'll play a little game. No, I reckon he probably doesn't have a salary. I reckon he's probably taken a cut of the profits.
Could have.
No, like Keanu Reeves did in like The Matrix.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go play a little game for you.
Yeah, go.
Right. Now, we're going to start from highest and we're going down to lowest anyway. Right, so we're not doing higher or lower.
You tell me the
character or the name, right? Then you try and guess how much they'll pay, then I'll tell you.
You tell me the wage and I'll tell you who I think got that wage.
Yeah.
You want to do it that way?
Got to do it that way.
Do it that way.
Okay. So, 20 million.
Someone got 20 million.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say the big man. Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel? Yes, correct.
Ding, right. Ding. Did he get a cut of the profits as well?
I'm not too sure. But
I reckon he's getting a backhander from somewhere. I reckon he's definitely getting a cut of this. If he's a producer, he's got to be.
Yeah.
Got to be.
15 million.
15? So someone else, 15 million. Okay.
Looking at that list.
I'm just looking at the backdrop now. So 15 million. Charlize Theron would be the next pick, but she's not actually in it that much. So does it warrant 15 million for what she did? Jason Momoa. It's got to be one of the main cast. So I'm going to say Michelle Rodriguez.
Letty? No.
Okay, no. Let me have a second guess. Okay. So if it's not her, don't tell me it's Brie Larson. Please don't tell me it's Brie Larson.
Wish I'd just come off the Marvels.
I'm gonna say Jason Momoa because he was in it quite a bit. He's quite sought after actor at the moment. He's in quite a bit. Yeah. So I'm gonna say Jason Momoa.
Especially with Aquaman coming out as well. You think he'll be up there?
Yeah.
No,
he can. No. So someone else in. Who the hell's getting?
Jason Statham.
They're paying 15 million. He's in it for like 10 minutes.
One fight scene and buggers off.
Does that include his paycheck for the next film?
Probably not.
Because if he's in it more in the next film, then I kind of get it. But 10, 15, how is he getting that much money?
Okay, the next wage? 5 million.
Okay, 5 million, right. So it could be any of these. Jason Momoa.
Yes. 2 out of 3, not bad.
Right.
2.5 million.
2.5 million.
As you can see, there's a bit of a drop here now from the other ones.
2.5 million. It's got to be Michelle Rodriguez. She's probably in it the most.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
Well done, mate. You're doing well here.
Go on.
2 million.
2 million. I reckon Brie Larson's asking for 2 million.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. Charlize Theron.
No.
Oh. None of them are. Not John Cena. John Cena.
Yep.
2 million.
John Cena.
John Cena. Is it Cena or Cena? Cena. Okay.
I like you bloody my mum or something doing that.
2 million.
2 million.
Okay, yeah, go on. Next one.
1 million.
1 million. So I'd say any of them are worth a mil. I don't know.
Now, you got 2 answers here, right? Because 2 actors were paid 1 million each.
Charlize Theron and Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, I've got to say.
1 out of 2 you got. Brie Larson was right.
Yeah.
So who's the other one?
Michelle Rodriguez.
Tyrese Gibson.
Huh?
Tyrese Gibson.
Right. Was Tyrese Gibson and the fake guy, Ludacris, were they paid different? Because they're literally in exactly the same
Exactly
scene.
the same, yeah. Okay. Now this is where it starts getting a bit awkward, right?
Hey, how?
So there was 2 characters next what were paid 800k.
Charlize Theron. I'm surprised she's not in the millions.
She might be, no, but she's not on this list, so you can wipe
she's
her
not on
out.
the list?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Her figure wasn't disclosed.
So I'm going to say Ludacris. Do you say, how many do you say we're at?
2.
Two earning 800 mil.
800k.
800k, sorry, not mil. So I'm gonna say Ludacris, and I'm gonna say we've had Michelle Rodriguez, haven't we?
Yep.
We've had John Cena, we've had Jason Statham. Who else is in this? The sister was only in it for like about 2 minutes. Probably not the sister. Who's this woman? I can't see what she looks like. Han. These two. Han and Ludacris.
Han is one of them.
Han is one of them. Don't tell me Ludacris is getting less than 800k for this.
The other one is Jordina.
Jordine, she's in it for like 10 minutes.
No, she's
Not
in the
even
same
10
time
minutes.
as Ludacris, not like really. She goes around with them all.
No, Jordina Brewster's the sister.
Oh, is it?
Huh?
Is that the sister?
I'm pretty sure it
No,
is.
she's the hacker.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I know, I'm pretty sure she's... 2 seconds. Jordina Brewster is Mia, the sister.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, 800k she got paid.
800k? Mate, she's in it for like a minute. She literally... That must be the easiest day at work. She turns up, plays a video game with the kid, pretends to fight some guys, and goes home with 800k in her back. No wonder she was so happy when she left.
Oh, yeah.
She secretly killed Brian off in the background because...
He's making too much.
What,
Okay, next actor, 700k.
7... Come on, throw Ludacris a bone, Christ.
No.
No!
Natalie.
No.
So that's the hacker.
She got... Is Ludacris on the list?
600k.
It's because he's not real. That was just his CGI cost. That was just the cost. Oh, it makes sense now. That was just the cost of rendering.
So, Ludacris was paid 600k. Tyrese Gibson, 1 million. Han, 800k. And Natalie, 700k. Every single one of them were in the scenes exactly the same time together.
Mate, Ludacris, if you are real and you're out there, you need to fire your agent or at least go to Tyrese Gibson's, because how he is earning $1 million when you're literally in every scene together.
You want to go to Statham?
Jason, 15 million.
He got paid nearly 20 times more for a 10-minute scene.
Jason, mate, all I can think of, right? I hope to God that, well, I don't, because I don't really like him, but I hope to God that he's in the second one and he has a lot more screen time to make up for that 15 mil, and they're not paying him another 15 mil to be in the next film.
Here's another one for you.
Go on.
So another character was paid 20 million.
Another character was paid. If you say it was Helen Mirren, I'm going to throw my mouse here.
Nope.
Right, okay, 20 million. Who have we got? It wasn't Jack Reacher, was it? No, it can't be Jack Reacher. Another character was paid 20 million.
Yep.
Another character was paid. What other characters are there? A character was paid 20. I need to have a look. It wasn't the kid, was it?
No.
It can't be the kid. The kid's like an unknown, and he doesn't.
You won't guess it. Do you want me to tell you?
Go on.
The Rock.
He's not even in. He's what? He's in the post credits.
The post credits for 30 seconds, and he doesn't even say his line correctly, and he got paid 20 million.
What the actual goddamn shite? Oops. I'm sorry, but I've got to swear at this point. What the actual fuck?
Yeah.
How are you paying that motherfucker 20 fucking million to just turn up at the end? Again, I'm hoping it's the same as the situation that I just said about Jason Statham, that he's probably going to be in the last one. But what the actual fuck?
Yeah, 20 million, right? And do you know what, right? He actually messed up his lines and they kept it in.
What was he supposed to say?
I don't know what he was meant to say, mate, but literally, he answers the phone and says, "You some bitch.
You son bitch.
You some bitch." You know what's he actually trying to say? That's one thing I don't understand.
You son of a bitch, maybe.
Maybe.
Well, we know The Rock's going to win anyway. We know he's going to win in the next one because he can't lose.
Yeah, unfortunately, mate. Unfortunately. Right, okay, so I've just got to mention as well that whilst we're doing this episode, there's going to be a lot of back and forth between scenes because there's a hell of a lot of short scenes in this. Yeah. Where it's generally, there'd be like a 30-second scene doing a bit of an info dump and then it'll be changing. So we're going to try and keep you as up to date as we can when we're doing it, but it can get a little bit confusing. I
was going to say, I've tried to keep my notes kind of in the order of the scenes. So,
yeah, I have.
So if you want, I'll start it off. So we kind of... the film opens up and we get a bit of a flashback to, I think, was it Fast Five when they're in Rio de Janeiro and they're robbing the safe. So if you've seen that one, they decide they're going to rob a safe, which is Jason Momoa, as I'm going to call him Aquaman. So Aquaman's dad is some big crime boss in that, and they decide that they're going to rob his money. But rather than just walk in and rob the safe, they decide, because obviously cars, Brian... Paul Walker's character, Brian and Dom, are going to drive in, hook the safe up to the back of the cars and then drag it through Rio. Now, the collateral building damage on that scene alone, I don't really know. Yeah, go on.
Bullshit!
Yeah, I'm going to call bullshit on that because, first of all, the two of you dragging a safe through a city, you're going to kill people, you're causing so much property damage, and how do you even control something like that on the back of cars being dragged along anyway?
Yeah.
And there's no way you're going to be able to get where you want. The other thing as well is, so because it's 10 years previous to this, they've got Jason Momoa and they've done some kind of horrible de-aging on him because he looks absolutely terrible. It looks weird. It looks like he's made of plasticine. It looks like me in our early episodes. I know I mentioned this a couple of times on some of them. But yeah, it must have been used. I think that's all they do. They just use one of them little shitty cameras that we used to use. And then that's what they film them with and they call it anti-aging. But yeah, he looks terrible. And he's wearing a yellow suit.
Yeah.
Like, through all this, all I can think is this guy is trying to be the Joker.
Yeah, straight away. Yeah. But the thing is, right, I did like the fact that they did edit him into it. No, it made him look like he was fit into it, the way the scenes and stuff. Even though obviously they've done bad with the aging thing.
It was well done.
It was good that it was put into it.
I don't think they needed the anti-aging because I don't think you would kind of look at him then and now and kind of think, well, 10 years have passed. I don't think it really matters. I think you could have got away without anti-aging him through that. I don't know about you, but I think you could have got away with it.
Yeah,
because
I think that.
He's got fur on his face anyway through most of it, and that long hair kind of covers it. So it's it's kind of like you really don't need it. But yeah,
that's it, right. But
people they must have injured pulling that safe round. It's a throwback.
Yeah, but like saying, all right, they're literally dragging a safe round on the cars, is hitting into other cars. Yeah. We get his car's not slowing down whatsoever.
No.
I mean, for facts, right? You've seen like videos on Facebook where somebody's trying to rob a cash machine out of a shop, and then the cash machine like drags the bloody car, and it only weighs like £500. Whereas the safe is literally like 10 ton, getting dragged around, flipping up in the air, smashing cars. Cars are bouncing off it, and Dom's car just flicks a little bit nos, goes into superpower mode, and it doesn't lose any power, any steering or anything, and it's just like, come on.
The one thing I've noticed throughout these franchises, and they use it a lot in this, is that NOS is kind of used as a deus ex machina through all of it. They're in a sticky situation. What can we do to get out of it? NOS.
Yeah.
It seems there's so many scenes, even in this film in particular, that I've seen that, like I say, they're in a sticky situation. Use a bit of NOS, you'll get you out of it. I think if Dom and Letty were going to get divorced at some point in it, because at some point they got married. The marriage is on the rocks. NOS.
Yeah,
NOS.
I don't think NOS actually works like that.
How much money do you think NOS has made from these films just from brand awareness alone?
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, but what was the first one? 2001. I'd never heard of NOS being used in a car until this, and then it was all, I just want one of the buttons on my dash to go faster button than NOS. I'd hate to think what that fucking does to an engine.
It can't be good, can it?
In reality.
If it's their engines, do you know what I mean? Then,
well, if you're a mechanic, you don't really care because you could just pull the engine out and rebuild it. But personally, I wouldn't even know how to install NOS into a car.
No, that's it. And then at the end of it, Jason's car gets hit into the water and he wakes up and becomes Aquaman.
Give me. That is basically what happened. He's in the water and I was thinking, yep, he now talks to the fish.
Yeah.
How long was he underwater? Because that guy came out with some goddamn brain damage there. I mean, Jesus, them bubbles must have gone right to his head. But I want you to press our little button for that scene because the fact that he jumps into that water and somehow escapes from the car.
Bullshit!
Yeah, because he somehow flies out the car mid-air and smashes into the water. And I know, but they kind of imply later on that he was kooky before then as well. So obviously it's, God knows, but yeah, bullshit.
Yeah,
bullshit.
then fast forward into 10 years into the present day, and we see a car, don't we, drifting it around a pro.
We do, like a pro.
It looks cool seeing, the drifting and stuff.
It does.
And then Dom gets out, and you're like, oh, okay, there, was that him driving? And then obviously you forget he's in an American car, so it's the left-hand drive instead. Walks around, and guess who's in it?
Little B.
A little 10-year-old is drifting
the
this car. The
adopted African child.
Do you want me to...
Yeah, please.
Bullshit!
Because the one thing that I noticed that was bullshit on that was that if you watch carefully, when he's kind of in the window talking to Little B while he's in the driver's seat, his feet clearly... He can't see over the steering wheel. His feet clearly don't touch the pedals. And I mean, you'd think he'd at least done like an Indiana Jones kind of short round type of thing where he put blocks on his shoes or at least give him some kind of platform shoes. But yeah, so somehow he's just been drifting about. Now, the person in that whole scene that I kind of feel sorry for is the poor bastard that owns that car park because they've just ruined it with tyre marks.
I think I did see on the making of like a little clip of it, when they was like filming that bit.
Yeah.
I think that was a blue screen as well around it.
It doesn't surprise me.
Why can't you just go to a bloody car park somewhere on top of a hill on a nice day and do it?
And let the kid have a go of a car.
Well, not that far, you know what I mean? But still, when they're doing the filming, just do it somewhere nice location instead of in a warehouse screening it all the time.
Yeah, because I imagine even from what you've told me, it sounds like even the scene when Dom's talking to him through the window of the car, that's probably green screen. You can't. Maybe Dom wasn't even near him. Maybe he can't be. Maybe none of the adults can be near the kid, and then he just kind of superimposed Dom in later on. And
it wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me with woke Hollywood. Oh no, he can't. Because he's an adult. He can't be near a child.
Wait a minute. Let's check the Epstein list.
Yeah.
Has Vin Diesel been there?
No, the kid has. Jesus Christ.
Wait a minute, Dom. We have to CGI you into here, mate. You've been to Epstein's Island before.
Yeah.
We don't know if he has, so,
Then we move a little forward, don't we? So
barbecue.
After that, yeah, so we go back to the same house from the first one because somehow Dom's made all this money and still hasn't moved house, and he's become a secret agent and still lives in the same house. You'd think he'd at least move or maybe upgraded some kind of security, but no. So we go there and we have the barbecue that we always seem to have, but I'm pretty sure in the other films they kind of do it at the end, but in this one they do it at the beginning.
Yeah. And
it turns out that Dom's grandma's there. Now, how old must that woman be?
God knows.
Because
Dom's 50.
Dom's got to be at least 50. I mean, the first film came out in 2001, and even then he was 40.
Oh yeah, because if it's his grandma, she's got to be in the 90s at least, and that's earliest.
To me, if I had to age her, if I had to cut a leg off and count the rings, I reckon it'd be about 70.
Yeah.
So she either had Dom when she was really young, or there's some kind of magic trickery going on here. It's a fantasy world. I reckon she's a zombie or a wizard or something.
Do you reckon Dom is meant to be like, 35 or some shit?
I will notice something though. None of them say Shazam in this film, so I'm wondering if maybe they don't say Shazam because then they'll turn into these monsters, these superheroes. Because clearly, like I say, fantasy film. She could be Gandalf's mom. She could be 900 years old for all we know. Because to be honest, right, I think I mentioned to you before. I was going to leave it till the end, but I'm going to say it now. I think in the original Fast and the Furious, towards the end when they're racing, him and Brian, and they cross the railway track, and Dom's car gets side shafted by the train. I can't remember exactly what happens, but I remember Dom's car gets wrecked, and Brian ends up giving him the car to get away. My theory is Dom died right there, and this is all his afterlife. Or
in a coma.
Dom is in some kind of coma somewhere, and this is all a dream because or he's shifted into a parallel dimension where physics and age and people coming back to life and indestructible cars, because this whole thing is just press the button for me. This whole thing is press the button, Darren.
Oh, right. Okay.
Sorry. This whole
Bullshit.
thing is. Yeah, that worked.
You done?
It didn't work.
It did.
You damn bullshit.
Bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit. This whole thing is bullshit. Anyway, yeah. So, sorry, I just wanted to say that. But anyway, so you pull up at the house, there's supercars outside the house, which I did like. But you kind of, it looks like, it doesn't look like the nicest area to live in.
Oh, the thing is as well, right? There's about 7 or 8 supercars. I mean, like top of the range supercars out there.
There was some there.
Each one of them is worth more than what that house is. And he's still living in the same house.
I know, it's like, come on, dude. Yeah, maybe keep the house and just keep it in the family or something. But, I mean, you're raking it in, doing all these heists and stuff. Just move house, dude. I mean, even for your family's sake, because you're so easy to find and you're supposed to be the secret agent now. I mean, just come on.
Yeah.
At least install a camera or something.
Yeah, and let's be honest, right? You're not going to keep a 600 grand car on a bloody side curb, are you? Outside the house.
No. Not in that neighborhood. Definitely not.
No.
But and then my first question, so we're at the barbecue, and I'm like, okay, we got the usual people. So some people, it might be the case that some of them, obviously Brian's not there, Paul Walker. But then all of a sudden, Han walks in, and I'm thinking, oh my god, he's dead. Can they see this ghost? And then they're making him a dating profile.
Yeah, he's been back in for about 4 episodes. Films.
He hasn't though, because he wasn't in the last one I watched. He was dead.
Yeah. He was in it for a bit, disappears, comes back.
Hey, the motherfucker's dead.
I think it might be number 8 or something. He came back in. I can't really keep up.
Definitely, Dom's dead. He's in heaven, and he just jumps across. But yeah,
I've got to say though, right? They've done Letty dirty, haven't they? Know what that hairdo?
Yeah,
she looks like 50 odd. She probably is about 50 odd. Do you know what I mean? But
I don't know.
Aged her really lot.
Because a little bit later on, when they're getting comfortable in the bed, I was thinking, my God, Michelle Rodriguez is aging well. I still definitely would. I don't know if it's just because I'm aging alongside with her.
That hairdo though.
Yeah.
Like a dodgy perm.
But the body on it.
Yeah.
The body on it.
About that, mate.
So disrespectful, but the body on her. You know what I liked her in recently, though? Because you don't see her in much. Have you seen that Dungeons and Dragons film?
Dungeons and Dragons, quality film, that.
Yeah, I think
like
she's
that.
really funny in that.
Yeah, I did like her in that, to be fair. Whilst we're at the barbecue as well, they start talking about a heist that in Rome, that Roman's got set up, and he's talking like they're going to be robbing these computer chips and stuff, but we get to that a little bit later on.
It's predetermined because it's Roman.
Yeah.
Roman. But when Ludacris, the fake fella, is is dancing around that car, like, come on, act a little better.
Yeah.
Oh, get it away from me. Oh. What a stupid scene that was. Well, you're forgetting about the grandma giving the speech about family.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what to talk
and
about.
they're obviously, not only they're sponsored by NOS, they're also sponsored by Corona, because every goddamn person at that barbecue. Huh?
And Stella.
I didn't see any Stella, but I've seen a lot of Corona.
Yeah.
I mean, Corona have got a lot of stuff to answer for, especially after that virus they released.
Yeah, definitely, mate. But one thing I did like about that whole barbecue scene, though, is when he went into the garage and Dom's looking at all the old photos, and the music starts playing, like a little bit of a tribute to Paul Walker. Yeah. I like that.
Now, in this series, is Brian dead?
Yeah.
So Brian's dead in the series?
Oh
no. I know obviously in real life he's dead because it was all that hoo-ha.
He just drove off in the distance, so I don't know if they actually mentioned that he died.
Well, they do mention him in the film with regards, because obviously he's supposed to be married to Dom's sister, but what is he always at home babysitting the kids? Are the kids not allowed to the barbecues? Why is little B, the African child, why is he allowed to come to the barbecue, but his kids aren't? Obviously, I know it's going to be a bit awkward. What are you going to do? Well, they CGI'd the rest of the film. Why can't they just CGI Brian in?
Yeah, because they don't actually show their kid, because they had a kid at the end, didn't they?
The kid, yeah. And obviously Mia's there, Dom's sister, but Brian's at home babysitting?
Ooh.
What, is he just like a
if you know, let us know down below or drop an email.
Well, yeah, because obviously the whole thing is about family, but what is Brian now shunned because he died in real life? That's a bit harsh. That's a bit deafest, that.
Yeah, true, true.
Why not get his brother in and paint his face on and do a Ludacris? Because Ludacris ain't real. Unless they spent all the money on bringing Ludacris in. I mean, he did get a raw end of the deal, like with what did he get, 600k?
Compared to the rest, yeah. Definitely is, mate. Then Cypher turns up, doesn't she, at Dom's house?
Yeah, so we have
a bit of a heads up.
We have Cypher arriving. Wipes blood on his mailbox, gets out of the car. Horrible, horrible woman. comes along. I don't know who she's supposed to be. I just seen Charlize Theron and thought, tasty, because I've got a little thing for her.
Yeah,
Except for in that film Monster that she did when she's playing that serial killer woman, and she looks horrible, but she plays that well. I think she won an Oscar for that, didn't she? Anyway, so yeah, she wipes the blood on Dom's mailbox, and I'm thinking, you cheeky bitch, I know you don't like him. I'll get the impression that you
it's just like, I've got a little stab wound, like a tiny little stab wound you see later on. It's like, man,
have that, you bastard. Have that.
Yeah, just get a bit of finger painting all over the side.
Just writes cunt in the mailbox in her own blood. Yeah. Jesus. Well, yeah, and then
God.
And then all of a sudden we have a kind of little flashback. So obviously to the films I've missed, where this Cypher woman is kind of, I don't know, did she kidnap a little bee or something? Is that where he got him from? Is that who she adopted her from, or what?
I think so. Yeah. Like I said, I can't remember what happened anyway in like 8 and 9. I think it might have happened around there. But she was the bad guy in one of them.
Maybe.
And then she explains to Dom.
Yeah.
Is that Dante wants him to be dead and wants him to suffer.
I love that scene when we don't meet Dante for the first time, but we kind of find out what happened to Cypher to get her there.
Yeah, I liked it.
I thought that was a really good scene because he just walks in all blazing, doesn't he? Basically carrying 2 of the guards out the elevator, and then he's like, all her guards are kind of pointing to guns at him, and he somehow kidnapped all the kids.
Yeah, every single one of them get synchronized FaceTime, don't they? And it's all their like family members that are all tied up. And then he says to him, do you want to work with me and your family's safe, or work for her and I'll kill all your family?
Yeah.
So all her guards start fighting her.
But, that poor bastard who has the gun to his head.
Yeah.
And he goes, he kills one of the guards because he says, I couldn't even find any family, not even a cat, poor bastard. And it's like,
oh, mate, how dare is that? Look, after he stabs him, he starts licking his blade. It's like, mate, you just give yourself hepatitis there.
Oh, I know. But he's nutty as squirrel poo, this guy. He's weird. He's weird. Well, yeah, so they turn the guns on him, and then that's the other thing I wanted to ask as well. Is
bullshit.
What year is this film set in? Because some of the technology they have in this film is just like, oh my God, now they've jumped into like 20 years into not even 50 years into the future. Because then she has some kind of button that deactivates all their guns.
Like a kill switch.
Like a kill switch. Yeah. Bullshit. And then, but the fight scene I enjoyed because at first I was thinking, right, so she's deactivated the guns and she's going to try and fight all these men.
Yeah.
And all I was thinking was, yeah, she could be the most gifted karate expert or martial arts expert in the world, but you're not taking on a bunch of men.
No, especially when they're
maybe
all,
one or two.
They're all military trained as well, bearing in mind.
All military trained. They've all got guns. I mean, they could just, the guns are deactivated, but they could still use them as a stick or something or beat her with them. But to be honest, the way they did the fight scene was quite good because I was thinking, oh, here we go. They're going to come at her one at a time and they're going to wait patiently to take the turns.
Yeah.
But they don't seem to that I could see.
No.
And I did watch it quite closely. And it is quite good the way they do it because they do it, but they're not. I didn't really spot anyone just waiting around for their turn.
Yeah. There was more of like 3 of them on her at once, wasn't there, at one point?
Or like the reason that guy over there hasn't joined in is because he's further away, so by the time he comes over she's taken one of the guys out. They're nearer, but yeah, they do kind of mess her up and she does get stabbed and they do beat the shit out of her, but she does hold her own, which I was quite impressed with. And I thought the choreography and the fight scenes was very good.
Yeah.
The only criticism I did have really is that all that technology she has in the room and it's all on one power cable that is just sprawled across the floor that anyone could just trip over at any point.
Generally, right, the power cable for the whole building is in the back of a PC.
Yeah.
It's a PC tower underneath her desk. She rolls over, pulls this like plug out the back of it like a kettle plug, not even a big thick thing. Yeah. And then all the power goes.
All the power goes,
and then
all the servers.
One thing which like is the most
bullshit
moment, right, is when she's fighting the elevator with that guy. She gets his head, pushes it against the wall, his face grinds against the wall. He comes off the wall. He's not got a scratch on him.
Not a single scratch.
Come on.
No.
His whole face would have been like a cheese grater.
And I'm not being funny. That guy in that close combat, he was a big fella. He could easily overpower her. And to be honest, he kind of does in a way. But she just kind of gets the upper hand. But I thought that bit where they hit the bottom of the elevator shaft and that big spring or whatever it was comes through and it near miss. But I thought, oh my God, that was good. I did enjoy the way they'd done it because I'm just glad they didn't go down. Well, it didn't seem to me that they went down the cliche route of kind of one at a time and all that, and
yeah, it's better they didn't do that.
But there is a line that she says when he walks in, and she says, "You're looking at who I love the most." I love that. I was like, I'm going to use that. I couldn't find who you love. Yeah, you're looking at who I love the most. Yeah. So, but yeah, but again, I don't kind of get, because I've not seen the other films, who she is. I get that she's possibly, it seems from the brief flashback we had that she's an antagonist in a previous film, and she's kind of come to Dom because, the enemy of my enemy is my friend and all that stuff. But poor little Brian though. Poor little Brian, because obviously Dom's not moved house as I discussed, so she knows exactly where to go and find him. And even imagine if your mum or whoever Letty is to him, she calls him mum, so I'm going to call him mum. Your mum comes to you in the middle of the night and says, "We've got an uninvited guest." And the boy just kind of automatically knows that means you're in trouble. Imagine being as a kid and having to live with that kind of fear.
Yeah, that'd be quite bad.
An unexpected guest, because throughout the film, I will mention a few bits later, this kid gets a bit of a raw deal. And I mean, he's going to be a bit messed up when he's older. He's probably going to be the next Joker, Jason Momoa, Aquaman fella. And then the mum's walking through with a silenced pistol, just kind of putting the silencer on to go and speak to Charlize or Cypher, whoever her name is. And it's just like, yeah. And then they obviously find out that the Rome trip that they're going on.
Yeah, it's all a fake.
He's a fake. Is a setup. Well, no, they find out because the agency guy comes to the house, don't they? Do they come to collect Cypher because they talk about taking her to a black site, don't they? So we're going to rearrest her and take her to the black site, and then they go, well, we need to let the other guys know, and they're like, well, where are they? And they're like, well, they're in Rome on a mission with you, and they're like, well, you're on about there's no mission in Rome, and they're like, it's a setup.
And this is where
the
massive bullshit starts, doesn't it? Throughout this film now.
So I reckon, can we set that alert to just go off every 30 seconds as we talk about this?
Might as well, mate, innit? Because like you say, especially from here anyway. So
we need to talk first, I think, about the Romans' plan.
Yeah.
Because it's the most stupid, convoluted plan I've ever heard in my entire fucking life. Oops, I swore. Sorry. Ding. So explain to me, in your best words, what was Roman's plan? Forget what went wrong. What was his plan?
So what I can gather is, right, which to kind of do anyway. So I'll try and explain what they did at the start until obviously Dante took over. So you've got the hacker and Ludacris sat on top of a balcony.
Yes.
With like a little remote control car trying to like drive it around everywhere.
Little Taj.
And then then you've got Roman in a beautiful Lamborghini. I wouldn't have it gold myself, but
golden Lamborghini, but it has a purpose to why it's called.
Yeah, exactly. And
there's
you
a lot
have
of coincidences
in an old Alfa Romeo.
There's a lot of like things that have to come together throughout this film, and a lot of people have got a lot of foresight. I'd say some of them are quite clairvoyant, or are going to see the local wizard. Sorry, carry on.
It really is, isn't it? It really is.
It really is.
Yeah. So there's a convoy of a big truck with two like 4x4 trucks,
like
aren't
big
they?
SUVs,
not like trucks, more like SUVs,
armored trucks,
armored SUVs.
Yeah.
So you got one in front, one in the back, big truck in the middle, driving through the streets of Rome. Roman gets in the front of the truck, blinds the guards with his golden Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Han gets behind it. Yeah. Don't really know what Han's doing at the back of it, to be honest with you. He just like merges into
doesn't he
pile.
Release some smoke or something?
No, that's with the RC car. So the remote control car then goes underneath.
I know it releases smoke in to like kind of knock out the drivers. So
yeah, that's the remote control car, not Han.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No, but I thought Han was the car behind the truck. Doesn't he get in between them? Doesn't he let off some smoke?
I can't remember. I think he does.
I think that's why he gets in between. Sorry, Roman's got his gold car to blind the guys in the car, and then I think he gets in behind. I think I'll have to.
I can't remember if there's a bit of smoke through that.
Yeah.
So the little RC goes underneath the car, right, underneath the truck, right. There's no ventilation systems underneath cars or trucks, but yet they managed to let some knockout gas inside the truck, which goes straight to the air vents and puts the guys to sleep. And then the hacker and Ludacris jump off the balcony, perfect timing as the truck comes through with the knocked out guards driving along onto the roof, and then they get inside. Big question.
Go on.
Right.
Go on.
Okay. I drive trucks for a living.
You do.
I do, right? And you've seen plenty of crashes on YouTube where a driver has fell asleep and the steering wheel, all it takes is a slight little knock and then it's gone off.
Yes.
They're driving through streets which literally have 2 foot on either side of the truck. So not a lot of room for error here. But this truck drives perfectly through Rome with two guys asleep at the wheel whilst they jump on top of a truck without getting hurt or breaking any ankles. And then they get inside the truck, pull the guys out, and then switch over, and then she starts trying to drive it. But the truck is perfectly
straight, yeah. The whole plan, Roman's plan was just, why did no one just say, dude, just sit him down and say, dude, I know you want to be in charge, but this plan is the most stupidest thing I've ever heard. You know, it's... So the plan and knock the guards out for some reason. I think the only thing he wanted to do with this plan is I think he just wanted to drive a golden Lamborghini, because the fact that they must have had to have timed it perfectly for the sunlight, for that little section of the plan alone to have worked.
Yeah.
They needed to be in the exact right place in the right time of the day for the sunlight to bounce off and blind the guards. Right.
Never mind clouds getting in the way.
Yeah. So it could have been slightly cloudy, right? So there's that. And then I've never been to Rome, but anyone I've ever spoke to that has been to Rome always moans about the traffic and how congested it is and how much of a fucking hazard it is, that even crossing the road is a bit of a chore. Now, obviously, I've never been to Rome, I've just said that, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
So anyway, they managed to get a clear run through, high speed, in the trucks, everything, right? Okay. The other part of the plan, like you said, was to jump from a fizzing balcony onto the back of the truck. I mean, like you said, everything would have had to have gone to plan. By that point, the gas to go into the cab of the truck, don't know how that even happened. Han to one come back to life at the start of the film. And then I think, like I say, he goes in between and lets off a smoke bomb. So for some reason, he lets off the smoke and the guards don't pick up on it. Any of this at any point. For them to then jump onto the back and then somehow get it's the stupidest plan ever. I mean, it's like, do you think they just like thought, well, we need some way of them getting on? I don't know. Maybe they just actually asked whatever Tyrese Gibson in real life, what would you do if you were going to do this in the most stupidest effing way you're going to ever do it in your life? How would you plan this heist? Well, first of all, I'd have a golden Lamborghini. That's got to be number one. You know, Vin Diesel, can I know you only pay me $1 million, but can you take some of Ludacris's salary and buy me a golden Lamborghini, please?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's basically what's happened. Yeah, so the whole premise in the first place was just stupid, and then it turns out that Jason Momoa loves his remote control cars because he's got remote control over the truck, and I'm assuming that the other two armored SUVs, that there was no one actually in them, that he was just controlling them at the time, because
he just blew them up straight away.
That he's going to blow them up. And then it turns out that there is a neutron bomb in the back of the truck that they're carrying. So it isn't a quantum computer, wherever it is, that the computer chip that they thought they were going to be getting. It's actually a giant bomb in the shape of a football. And then somehow Jason Momoa kind of knows what's going to happen, because he says, let's go for a roll, but somehow knows that Dom is going to turn up, fire two things out like in his car.
Oh, before that.
Oh, sorry. Am I getting a bit ahead?
So before that, right, we've got them driving around Rome, right? Cars getting smashed around everywhere. The hacker's like, oh, we can't get hold of the truck because Dante's took over it.
Yeah.
They don't even see Dom or Letty, but then they know exactly that's Dom 2 miles away in a car.
No.
Don't know, because before they even take the radio off to speak to Dom, right? Don't know how Dom finds out what frequency radio they're on as well to speak to them.
Yeah, because that's it as well. Because at one point they say, you know, we're trying to get hold of the guys. We can't even get through on email. We can't get through on this. And I think that agency guy who's with them, I don't know who the hell he is. He kind of disappears after this. And he says, I even tried swiping right on Han's dating app.
Yeah.
Dickhead.
Yeah. But that's
Shut
what I mean,
up.
right? But like you said, the hacker woman, right? She goes, oh, it's Dom and Letty.
Yeah.
They're nowhere near her. They're like 3 fucking miles away. How does she know they're there? And then that's when they take off the cryptic
unencrypted
frequency.
Yeah.
So then Dom starts speaking to him straight away.
Yeah.
Letty's bouncing around on her bloody bike, doing stunts left, right, and centre, which I find it really hard to believe.
What was she hoping to achieve on that bike? I'll come to that in a second. I just want to mention one other thing, that when just going back just a couple of minutes, when Ludacris and the hacker woman, the British woman, are having a chat on the balcony, right? He's supposed to be controlling the car and everything like that. But if you notice, he's too busy talking to Roman and he doesn't even look at the actual screen. He's just got it there. Yet you see the car doing all its stuff and catching up with the truck, but he's not even looking at it. He's just holding the thing in his hand, having a conversation with Roman in his ear. And I'm just like, because I don't think she's controlling the car. I think he's supposed to be doing it, because the next second you see kind of like him with the camera. And I'm like, someone who's controlling that? Either he's really good at remote control cars, or, bullshit.
Yeah, well then, like you say, Dom gets in front of the truck, puts up this like washing line.
Yeah.
But did you notice as well, right? He put the washing line up, yeah?
Go gadget car, mate.
Yeah, but the car, I mean, the car was like 10 feet in front of the truck when it went up, the line. And then it's literally nearly a minute into the film, the truck hits it. You see loads of different scenes.
Yeah.
And then the truck is still at like 30 feet away from the washing line, hits the washing line, and then flips over.
Yeah, and then
that's not strong enough.
Just before that, Jason Momoa, Aquaman, has decided to open the back doors on the truck, and he says, "Oh, let's let it go, or let's let it go for a ride, or something like that." So it's almost like he's got the foresight that the truck's gonna do what it's gonna do, and it's gonna roll out the back of it. But so Dom has somehow got. First of all, how did he take the car with them to Rome? I'm assuming they did, because it's some kind of like secret agent kind of car, because. And I don't know about you, but my car doesn't have grappling hooks that come out either side.
No.
And I'm calling bullshit alone on the fact that them things shot out and they held it enough with them flimsy fucking pillars that it went into.
Exactly.
For the truck to hit it and for it to flip over. And on top of that, Ludacris and the woman survived this.
Yeah. It's complete
bullshit.
It really
completely, honestly, it's absolutely so far-fetched. Generally, guys, right, if you've never seen this before, right, a truck is doing like 40, 50 miles per hour in the streets of Rome, maybe 30 miles an hour, right? Let's give it a little bit of leeway. Hits this washing line, right, and then it flips right over. Then it starts sliding down towards, it happens to be a big balcony on top of a hill. And then Roman and Han, they get on either side of it to slow the truck down.
Yeah.
As it's sliding. And then the ball starts rolling through City and then start playing Rocket League for the next 10 minutes.
Rocket League. And then just before that as well, when they discover it's the bomb, how does Taj even know what type of bomb it is? Since when is he a bomb expert? I'm pretty sure when we first discover him in Miami in Too Fast, Too Furious, that he's just a car mechanic.
Yeah, it's like a hustler, isn't it?
Don't get me wrong, he's a very talented car mechanic, but all of a sudden now he knows he can look at a bomb and tell exactly what it is. And not only that, but communicate it to the agency guy what exact type of bomb it is, so he can look it up on his computer, and then the agency guy just happens to have the exact schematic of that bomb.
And the kill switch, but he's got a touch in it.
Yeah. And it's like, okay then, right? That's a bit weird that you just happen to know. I mean, that's what drives me mad in films. Like, I don't know anything about bomb disposal and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure you always say, like, cut the red wire and stuff like that. Does every single bomb maker in the movies just find a schematic from the government and make the bomb? Because is no one creative enough to just kind of say, you know what, I'm not going to put a red wire in. I'm going to kind of mix things up a bit. I'm going to put a green one in.
Oh, mate, don't do that. That will throw him off.
I know, it's just like, but he just happens to have the plans for the bomb. And then obviously we got the gadget car, and then, like you say, so they play Rocket League. I don't know if any of you at home or watching this have ever played the game Rocket League, but it's basically...
it's pretty much this.
It's basically this. So in the premise of the game is you're in a big arena, you're in a bunch of cars playing with your mates, and it's basically football or soccer for you Americans, but you're in cars. So there's a big ball that you're chasing around in cars, and you're trying to score goals into the net. Now, this is basically what they do in Rome. So this bomb, this neutron bomb, is basically the giant ball, and Dom and Letty, somehow on a motorbike, are trying to... Like, what was Letty even doing on that? What does she hope to achieve? She's like, I'll get in front of it. Why?
I don't know,
what are you going to do? You're not warning anyone.
No.
Dom's in the car and he's having a bad time as it is.
You see, later on, though, with Letty, she has, like, a signal blocker on her, doesn't she?
Yeah.
To try and stop it getting detonated early. But prior to that, no, I mean, there wasn't anything like that. There's no need for it to be on a bike.
I'll tell you what,
but did you see that bit when Dante was driving through the streets and he kicks that pole?
Yeah.
Which would, like, snatch your leg in half and stuff.
And then and is that the part where she does, like, an endo and then she, like, flips around? And the one thing I was wondering, right, so I have a car license and I have a bike license as well, right? And the two things are very different. Just because you're good at driving a car does not necessarily mean you're going to be good at riding a motorbike.
No.
And before this, she may have done in the two films I missed, but I don't recall ever seeing her ride a motorbike.
No, I've not either, actually.
But
do you know the pole that he actually kicks?
Yeah.
That pole wasn't actual there when they were filming it. That was CGI added in.
That was
Because on the making of, right, you see him do it. You'd see him do that scene, and he's like, kicks it in the midair.
Yeah.
Just kicks there, and he's talking to the director, and he's going, right, okay, you kick at this position, and then the pole's go come down, and then Letty's go come, and then she's go like do her little flips over it.
But there's no. Is that
But again, you don't need to do CGI for that. That could have been done properly. But like you say, granted, going at the speed that he was, he would have snapped his ankle straight away.
I would love to know how much it cost them just to put that pole or whatever it was back in, just to CGI that pole. And I would love to see that invoice that they got for that. Because I'd be like, even if it was £10, I'd have been like, £10?
No, I'd say about 150 grand.
Probably, yeah. But that's what I mean. But even if someone had charged me £10, I'd have been like, are you fucking kidding me? That was £2.50 maximum. £2.50, yeah. That's a change in my back pocket, that. I mean, I could do that in Photoshop.
That's it. Like you say, right, if that scene was in American Ninja, right, where they actually done practical stunts, they would have had somebody with like a rope or something, so when they drive past, just pull the rope and it looks like it fell down.
Exactly.
And then the bike comes and does a jump.
I mean, you could have
Not
just got
CGI.
an illegal immigrant to do that and cost £2.50.
Literally, yeah, just pull it.
But
Just pull it.
But yeah, it's just the fact that he put that in CGI, but yeah. And then...
I do like Dante's reaction though. Bravo!
Bravo! Bravo! But the other thing as well is, so when Taj and... not Taj, when Roman and Han slow the thing down, right? And then all the police come to the scene of where it is, and then the policeman throws his hat down and you just see the grid close across. All I was thinking was, how did that policeman not just see that grid? So basically, the guys escape by going into the sewer, but there's a big grid in the middle of like
the street top bit, wasn't it? Like a viewing platform, maybe, or something.
Like the viewing, like basically where the truck has just crashed, right? And you literally see a cop about 2 yards from where they've just gone underground, and he throws his hat down, and then the camera kind of moves across a bit, and you see them closing the lid to the sewer. And I'm like, is that cop just blind or what? Where else could they have gone? You've just seen that, let alone you probably would have heard it scraping and what have you. But then now they're kind of walking through the sewers and they just automatically know where they're going. But not only that, is because at this point, like Darren says, Jason Momoa, Aquaman's on his motorbike and he's got the detonator for the bomb. Taj has got his little flip phone out. And he's going, apparently like blocking signals and hacking all this stuff just from his Samsung Fold. And he's just going so fast, and the software I've never even seen in my life. And all it is just seems to be like squares and red dots. And he's just, I'm trying to block him, guys. I'm trying to block him. Oh my God, I can block the signal. Oh yes. Oh wow. It's like, no, you're not though, dude. You're not though, because it's definitely, press that button, dude. It's definitely, press the button. Oh,
right. Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
Just do that. Just
okay,
put the finger up then down.
Bullshit!
I don't know how you're going to get me doing this when you can't even get me going, press the button, dude. Press the fucking button.
Do you know what it is, right? Because you're talking there, right, about Tad with on his like little phone. You'll go, right, he's pushing all his buttons, and like he's pushing all his buttons.
Sorry.
So I'm listening to you, and you're like, yeah, he's pushing his buttons. You're like, push the button.
Sorry, mate.
Sorry, mate. Yeah.
I'm saying button a lot. I know. Sorry. I'll forgive you on that one. But the one thing I want to say about the bomb as well is that's one hell of a hardy bomb. That's one hell of a hardy bomb, because...
Tell me about it.
How much does it go through? I mean, it plows through buildings. At one point, it goes through a bus. It goes through...
A petrol tanker bit.
Yeah.
You know, like the fuel station. Which, come on, right? It's a fuel pump, right? If it hit into it, the fuel would have gone onto the floor.
Yeah.
It wouldn't just ignite straight away.
No, it wouldn't. And
then Dom gets in two wheels to save two people what are sat there. Let's go for
Bullshit!
it. Just press it as many times as you can, because, my God, he's coming up and he sees this petrol pump on the side of the road. Like Darren says, the ball's rolling towards it. And the first thing he thinks is, I need to save these people. So what does he do? He decides to use his car as a shield. And I'm like, no. First of all, like you say, the fuel, unless there was some kind of big spark, it's not going to ignite just straight away and do that. No, sod off. Bullshit.
And I think as well, right? I don't know if you noticed it, right? But Dom's car kept repairing itself.
Yes, because that's what I was about to say. I think the bomb must have been made out of the same materials they make their cars out of, because these cars are just ridiculously indestructible. They're just...
Generally, right, his car, you see a couple of scenes, right? The front end smashed up and then it's perfect. His windows smashed, then it's perfect, then it's smashed again. The back of his car's all smashed up and then it's fixed again.
I mean, at one point, that bomb was literally on fire.
Yeah.
That bomb was literally on fire.
And the thing is, right, you see it for literally 5 minutes of the film, rolling through cars, smashing them up as if they're made out of paper mache. Buses are getting smashed up.
Yeah.
Trucks are getting smashed up. And then what happens at the end of it on that bridge? Dom manages to try and slow it down using his car.
Yeah.
And it doesn't roll over his car and smash it. He's knocking it into the side with his car. Perfectly fine. And then somehow he makes a perfectly bloody ramp out of scaffolding poles to then use NOS over the scaffolding poles, like loose scaffolding poles, bearing in mind it's not a perfectly smooth ramp. He hits these metal bars, catapults them up into the air, hits a crane head on.
Yeah.
And then it pushes the crane across in front of the path where the bomb's rolling.
On the bridge, yeah.
Hits the bomb, and then
Bullshit!
that goes into the water. Dom's car smashes into the wall, full smack.
Bullshit!
Right? Lands on the floor, bomb blows up.
Bullshit!
You see this massive shockwave going through the whole of Rome like a nuclear bomb has just gone off. And then Dom is driving off. Police cars are up on 4 wheels getting blown away. And Dom somehow manages to keep one wheel on the ground.
Bullshit!
And drives his car off.
Yeah, that car just drives off like it's nothing. It literally, it's heading towards the Vatican, innit? And he literally smashes into the wall of the Vatican on its roof, straight into the side. It's literally on the side, smashes into the wall, pops down, and he still manages to drive off. Like you say, oh my God, but that thing with the crane, I was just like, no.
Bullshit!
It's the whole thing. But then, just going back slightly as well, is like as well. Aquaman decides because he overhears on the radio that agency guy knows how to defuse his bomb. He decides he's going to go after him. Yeah. The guy's driving an armored truck and he somehow manages perfectly to throw like a little sticky bomb underneath his car. I'm pretty sure them like armored trucks are bomb proof. I mean,
I think it might be. To be fair,
but I kept thinking that he would have been better just staying in there. But did you notice as well? At that point, the big round ball of a bomb had stopped, and then the bomb goes off, and somehow, timing again, perfect. The bomb goes off, and the truck that the guy was driving just happens to then drive into the bomb, and then that's what starts it pushing again.
Oh, it starts the second part of the momentum.
And I'm thinking, of course it did. Of course. Of all the places he could have been in Rome, of all the places he could have put that bomb on the bottom of the car and blown it up, of all the places the guy could have been blown up and jumped out of it and let the car keep rolling, it just went straight into the bomb and carried on the road. But yeah,
and like say, for the size of Rome, with all these like winding turns on the roads and the hills and stuff, the ball rolled perfectly up the road towards the Vatican.
Yeah.
What?
It's like, because he even says, like, as soon as the ball's released, he says to one of his Aquaman says to one of his henchmen, what should we blow up? The Vatican. Oh, you naughty boy, type thing, which I thought was quite funny. But then, like you say, how does he have the foresight throughout all this that ball is going to roll through Rome? Because he had no control over where the ball was released, because that was Dom with his little.
Yeah.
How does it roll all the way towards the Vatican from where it is?
Perfectly.
Like, I don't know the layout of Rome, but I'm pretty sure it's not just all in one straight line. But then the other thing I noticed as well, so after the bomb explodes, right, you've got Jason Momoa stood watching the bomb explode, right?
Yep.
And he must be looking at it maybe 3 mile away from
quite a bit.
Explosion, right? The bomb goes off and he sees the blast wave, the shock wave, right? And then it cuts to Letty, who's at this point is being arrested by the police because she was on a motorbike chasing Aquaman, but Aquaman got away and the police came and they've got her surrounded. She feels the blast wave, right? And then it cuts to Dom, who is literally a yard away from where the bomb just exploded. Yeah. He manages to then drive off for about 30 seconds to a minute before the blast wave then hits him, and then he manages to survive it. So I'm not sure how the physics are working in this scene, but I'm pretty sure that he would have felt it first.
Yeah.
It would have been hard than that, and he would be dead.
Yeah. And did you notice on the news thing at the end when they were saying, like, these are the terrorists what I wanted?
Yeah.
The last guy on it said there was no casualties.
How was
even a nuclear bomb pretty much gone off in the middle of a city?
Not to mention the bomb, but I mean, when it was driving through the city and all the police cars and everything, the Dom kind of rammed off the road and exploded and ended up on the roof. How were there no maybe no deaths, but definitely no. There must have been casualties of some sorts, injuries of. I mean, for God's sake, my God, and
like you say, right? You just mentioned there about Letty being arrested, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So let's go over her charges, possibly. Right. So at worst, it'll be a terrorism offence. Yeah. At first.
At worst, yeah.
Right?
But
at worst, right?
What evidence have they got that links her to it?
Yes, but how many terrorists are in like your jail, say your category A jails or something like that, like in London and stuff, or New York or whatever?
Not many.
Yeah, good for you.
Well,
Like the Manchester Arena bomber, his brother, he's in like one of the Belmarsh or whatever like that.
yeah, but I mean, out of all the prisoners that are currently incarcerated around the world, I don't think that many of them will be actual terrorists.
Yeah,
if that's what you mean. I don't
well,
get what you.
Well, what I'm trying to say is right.
Sorry,
right, okay. What I'm saying is right. Why the hell is Letty arrested and placed in some futuristic black site in Antarctica? Not in your category A jail in Belmarsh or whatever city.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
She'll be in an Italian jail, right?
Yeah.
High security jail.
Yeah.
But
well, technically, shouldn't she be
not be locked away? Why are they in fucking Antarctica?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the And I get what you mean, and I don't know what the kind of what the political agreements and stuff are. But he blew up the Vatican, and the Vatican's its own city and state. So shouldn't she be in the Vatican jail for blowing up the Vatican?
Yeah. But you know what I mean? It was like, what is that? I don't understand what this bloody agency thing is as well.
Yeah, but like you say, yeah, and let's say she's at the very most she's going to be, at the worst case scenario she's being charged for that. But by the Italian police, surely it should just be reckless driving. I mean, because kind of from their point of view, she's on a motorbike and she almost is following the ball. So, any sane person would think, well, she wasn't going to be able to do anything on that bike anyway. It's not like she was going to try and save it. So
yeah, so technically, right, she's actually been arrested and charged, right, for being in the vicinity of the ball. What about if the citizens were running away from the bomb?
I'm saying that all she's been arrested for is dangerous driving and being Latino in Rome.
Yeah, probably, mate. Probably is, yeah.
But
yeah. So the next scene.
But then you've got, like, just talking about the news scene, you've got that pet hate of mine where they've suddenly got all this footage of that they couldn't have had, but there's a lot of that in this film because the next scene is, like you say, they're in the agency HQ. Did you see that guy's office?
What, Jack Reacher's?
So you meet Jack Reacher for the first time. I think his name's Ames, right?
Yeah, Ames.
And I mean, if I worked for that agency, right, I've seen a James Bond film. I would know a villain's lair if I fucking saw one.
Yep.
And they walk in, and the room is kind of like this. It's not a cave, but it is a cave, and it's kind of like a hexagon platform. I'm trying to describe it. She walks in. And
what reminds me of?
He has no seats, he has no desks. All he has is a bunch of screens. It's like if you just went to the local shop and said, I'll have two of them screens, all different sizes. I'll hang that one from the ceiling, I'll have that one coming off from the floor, and I'll just have them all around.
Yeah.
Who's working in that kind of environment?
You know what it reminded me of?
What?
No, the X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like
Charles Xavier's little room when he goes in, but you turn all the lights off.
What's it called?
Like a big dome.
I know what you mean with the when he puts the helmet on and you can see everyone. I'm thinking placebo, but it's definitely not placebo.
No,
that's definitely something else.
Yeah, it looks like that room, but with the lights switched off and you got screens everywhere.
It is, but it looks like a villain's lair. And then we meet Brie Larson's character. Now, I'm not sure if she's been in the others before, but anyway, Captain Marvel shows up, starts talking to Jack Reacher. It turns out that she's the daughter of some guy from the previous films.
Yeah, one of the previous ones.
We get a bit of an expedition dump, an expo dump. But the other thing is, he's showing her like all basically footage from the previous films.
Yes, it's a little bit of a backstory now, isn't it?
All I'm thinking is, right, so this is a pet hate of mine, is in films when they do this, when they show footage that they should not have. How have they got footage from all these different films, all the street races?
Like the scene where they're jumping out of the train and stuff in the middle of a desert. They got perfectly surveillance video of it.
Or even in like the first couple of street races from the first film and stuff like that. And then there was even one, and I was watching it with my wife, Hannah, and I said to Hannah, the poor bastard, whoever filmed all this should get a raise, because on one of them, you can see it, and I'll try and pull it up on here when I'm doing the edit, but the camera's there, and it's a scene when the tank comes out. They must have had the tank on a bridge at some point, and the tank comes out, and it looks like it comes towards the camera, and I was thinking, oh, that poor cameraman died when the tank landed on him. They must just have little cameramen just pointing all around the world, just filming stuff, just in case shit kicks off at some point. And then that poor cameraman, oh god, he must have died when that tank landed on him. But they've got, and who are all them like shadow organisation things that are doing the voters?
I thought it's like a game of Guess Who, isn't it?
It's because he does this. He talks to Brie Larson's character about like what they've done in the past, and they took street racers and they turned them into agents and all this.
Like being
bullshit.
a cult family.
Bullshit.
Yeah, and it's like everyone who comes across ends up joining this cult of a family, and then he does a vote with these shadow people who then appear on the screen, and they all vote to say that they're going to basically burn them and they're going to go after them. But it's like, who the hell are they? But my main thing is, where the hell did they get that? First of all, his office is not a fit workspace. That's health and safety gone. Not health and safety gone mad. Health and safety would go mad.
Yeah.
Because
the lighting's terrible.
The lighting's terrible. He doesn't even have a desk. He doesn't sit down. He just stands there all day with all these screens all over the place. I mean, how does he control them? And does he just stand there all day just looking at these? What a waste of money. You'd be like, what is this guy doing? Like, oh, fuck it.
Cerebro,
that's it. Yeah. What did I call it? Placebo. But it's like Cerebro. But yeah, it's basically Cerebro, like a poor man's. So I can't say that word now for some reason. But yeah, my God, it's just. And then, like I say, the biggest pay is where they're getting that footage from.
It's bad.
Where they're getting that footage from.
Right, do you know the doorway Tess walks through?
Yeah.
Like to go into his office. Just imagine on the other side of that will be like a scene from The Office.
Yeah.
Because basically like a normal, like Wall Street type office. Like, it's like, oh, where's Jack? Oh, he's in that room over there. I don't know what he does in that room, but he's always spending time in there. It's like dead dark. You know, it's like a closet.
He just stands there and stares at the screen with his arms closed,
Yeah.
his arms together like this, just watching the screens. Just.
Then after the explosion, all over the news and stuff, we've got Dom and somehow Queena, or whatever her name is, was in Rome as well.
Yeah, so it kind of cuts to Dom and like. You can see like the smoke and everything still coming up from like the Vatican and the bridge and all stuff like that. Yeah, he's just kind of stood in the middle of the open, and a helicopter flies over him and all sorts, and he's like possibly the most wanted man in the world at this point. You've just seen like a news expo where like, you know, they're all over the news, the whole crew. And at first, like, because obviously I've not seen the other films, like Helen Mirren, why the hell is she here? I didn't even know she was in this franchise.
No, but the thing is as well, like, what's the chances that she's there?
Yeah,
on that day,
exactly
in Rome.
Yeah,
like just holidaying on that day whenever it's about to blow up. Like you say, mate, a lot of things happen with perfect timing.
Yeah, it's very it just goes back to the whole theory of mine where Dom is clearly in a coma, but maybe Queenie's just like one of his nurses in real life and just kind of comes to speak to him every now and then. But it's like, is it me? Like, I know Helen Mirren's getting on quite a bit, and we did see her in Shazam, and between Shazam and this film, she looks like she's aged about 100 years.
Oh yeah, at least 10 years.
She looks crinklier than a testicle.
That's one way to explain
she looks
it.
like a ball bag, mate, and she really doesn't thinking, oh my God, what have you done to her face? I mean, if you're gonna de-age someone, at least de-age her. I mean, just knock a few years off, Christ, smooth her out a bit, get the
iron on her.
Get the trowel out, get the iron out. But yeah, and she looks old as fuck. But the other thing I was wondering as well is why the hell is she got a Cockney accent?
I don't know, mate.
Is it because
it's a dodgy accent, isn't it?
I know, obviously, it's probably this like seen in the other films, and I did find out later on that she's supposed to be Jason Statham's mum. So is it just kind of like because Jason Statham has a Cockney accent, they automatically have her one, or is it just that because every British person needs to be a Cockney?
He has the same accent throughout every single film that he does.
But the other thing I wanted to ask as well, because then we kind of cut to, from this, we go to like the agency plane, and Ames just like drives straight onto his plane and they take off. What is God's Eye? What have I missed here?
Okay, so on one of the previous ones, the hacker, when she's introduced to the series, she's obviously like some expert hacker, like created a...
Who's the hacker? Isn't it that Cypher, Charlize Theron, or is it that English woman?
Not her.
The English woman?
Yeah.
So she's created this God's Eye?
Yeah.
Well, what is it? Sorry, you explaining what it is. I don't.
Yeah, so she created this something called God's Eye, which is pretty much like an AI system of CCTV.
Right.
So it could connect to every single camera inside the world, and it could predict or pick up people when they're like facial recognition and stuff. So, for example, if I put your name in this God's Eyes thing and you're walking around, say, Italy or France, pick you up straight away wherever you are in every single camera. Even if it's like your iPhone or a dash cam.
How is it that they've built this thing, right? And it's only like this big. And is there only one of them? Because he gets on the plane and the analyst guy who's there, he says like pull up God's eye or something. Because at the first watch, I didn't really I missed that bit, and he says, oh, it's missing, and there's just like a little space missing in the console. Is there only one of them, and is it just this little?
About as big as an iPhone by the looks of it, mate. Because Tess takes it, doesn't she?
Yeah, because Captain Marvel takes it and sods off with it. But yeah, I was just wondering what that was, because they were getting on this plane and they're like, oh, pull it up on God's eye, and I'm like, oh, then what's God's eye? And then later on, because through the first watch, I didn't quite kind of grasp that was God's eye, this little thing that Captain Marvel has, like later on. But yeah, and then we moved to Dom's house, so we've got Dom's sister, played by Jordana Brewster, is it? I can't remember what her character name is. Mia. So we got Mia, and she's babysitting little Brian. They're playing a video game and stuff. And then I did think, like, so...
I can say something quickly.
Yeah, go on.
Just while we were talking about Natalie Emanuela.
Oh, the British woman.
Yeah, Natalie Emanuel.
Yeah.
Right, so she was paid $700K, wasn't she, on this?
Yeah.
Right, do you know she actually started off her career in Hollyoaks?
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh.
She's gone from Hollyoaks, right, to then obviously like Game of Thrones. She was in that for quite a few seasons. Is that what she was in? Yeah, she got her head cut off. She was the right-hand woman from Khaleesi.
Right. Oh, the guy who's like kind of falls in love with Grey Worm.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. I knew I recognised her from somewhere. I'm looking at her thinking, I know you from somewhere. I know you from. We had Game of Thrones. Yeah, no, I didn't even twig.
Yeah, gets the tits out in that as well if you're interested.
But yeah. But yeah, so he cuts to Dom's house, and like I say, Mia's playing video games with little Brian. And
is it just me, right? Is this completely over the top, right? Why the hell have they sent a full SWAT team, kill on sight type shit, right? Going in.
They don't even knock on the door.
Stormtrooper outfit.
Yeah. But that's what I thought, because I thought surely just a couple of agents in a nice suit knocking on the door. Excuse me, ma'am. We need to take you in. They could have even said, like, at this point, I'm pretty sure that Mia probably wouldn't even have known that there was kind of a double cross kind of going on in the agency. So as far as she probably is aware at that point, that Dom and them still work for the agency, because the last time she's seen them, they were going with the agency guys to Rome.
Yeah.
Right? She may have seen in the news that it's all kind of gone a bit Pete Tong, but just a couple of agents in a nice, Men in Black style thing, just knocking on the door. Yep. Excuse me, we need to take you in. It's for your own protection or whatever. We need to ask you some questions. Can we come in? And then maybe if they kicked off them. But no, they don't. They don't even knock on the door. They just throw tear gas or smoke or something straight through the window. And then it all kicks off. And then she starts battering these guys who... That's the other thing that kind of... is bullshit. Because throughout the film, it happens in a couple of scenes. They're fighting these guys who are always got... ballistic helmets on, ballistic body armor on, and they're fighting them hand to hand and somehow causing them damage. I mean, you could probably headbutt them as much as you want and punch them as much as you want. They've got a ballistic helmet on that can stop a bullet. They've got bulletproof vests on.
Yeah.
Kevlar vests and stuff like that. You're not fighting them. You're not causing them any damage. And then obviously, little brother, is it Dom's little brother or Dom's big brother? I'm pretty sure he's
Dom's little brother.
Dom's little brother then turns up and starts Johnny J. Rambo in the place.
Literally, it's like a scene out of WWE wrestling. People are getting body slammed through the floor. Can I just say?
Yeah, Dom needs to sod your cars, mate. You need to do some work on that house, because I'm not being funny. He's like, he throws the guy down, but there's not enough force there to force someone through floorboards, through the joists of the house, down into the bottom. And like, how did Dom's brother even get there so fast in the first place?
I don't know, man. It's all a little bit sus, isn't it? Even at one point, he's doing a little bit of a tactic, right, which we used to play on Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
Where you shoot a little hole in the wall, and then you hide behind the other wall, and when the people are coming up the stairs, you start shooting them through the little holes in the wall.
Yeah.
From the other side, which I thought was quite cool. It was like, hey, it's Rainbow Six, that.
Yeah.
But then, like I say, he's body slamming people through a wall, punching people through a door. They're on the other side door, his fist comes through the door, knocks them clean out. It's like you say, mate, come on, you're wearing a bloody ballistic helmet and everything.
The kid makes a number one mistake that usually occurs in horror movies, is that a load of people come in and he's running away and he runs upstairs. But out of all this, right, so they obviously expect at some point, because like I said before, Dom's lived in his house since he was like this big. So, and they obviously, like, when Letty goes to him near the beginning and says, we've got an unwanted guest, blah, 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 you know what to do. So are you telling me their plan is if someone comes into the house and starts raiding the place, the little Bry is to run upstairs, go into the bathroom, lock the bathroom door, and hide next to the toilet? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Is that the whole? I'm getting that right. That is the whole plan. That is the escape plan.
Yeah.
Don't
To
run
go
out
out
the
of a
back
safe
door.
room.
Yeah, don't
panic
bother
room.
with a safe room. I'll tell you what, mate. Just run upstairs, lock the bathroom door, and hide behind the porcelain toilet because that's going to protect you. And yeah, so yeah, and then they start fighting all these guys, and like I say, they've got the ballistic helmets on. They've got all this. Yeah, they're somehow causing them damage. And then Jacob, Dom's brother, then decides that he's going to take little Brian. He's going to rendezvous with Dom for some reason. Again, where did he even come from? Who is? Because like I say, I've not seen the other film, so all of a sudden, all I see is John Cena, whatever his bloody name is, who's pretending to be Dom's brother.
Yeah.
No family resemblance at all, because like I say, they're all bloody Latino, and he's clearly not. He's whiter than you. He turns up and then he takes the kid. But I did like that scene when the kid comes out to the car and there's like that big round and he's like, "Wow, look at this!" And he's like, "No, this one."
But how proud was Jacob though? He's like, oh, "No, it's not like it's this one. It's like an old 90s Ford or something, isn't it?"
I think he says
Ford
at some point
Escort.
it is technically a Mustang or something. And it's like, "I've had it since I was 13. And I think he says, doesn't he, when they're driving off, he's like, "Does my dad know you have this car?"
Yeah. Mate, how nice was that Dodge Ram though?
Oh, that Dodge Ram was gorgeous.
Oh, it was a beast. I was like,
Gorgeous.
oh yeah, I'd love to have that car.
I was like, yeah, damn right, you've got that car.
But like you say, he gets off in a little Ford Escort, 1990.
His little Mark II Escort, or whatever the bloody hell it was, with his with what looks like a surfboard on the roof, but we later learn that it's that it's
Well,
not.
thing made me laugh as well about that scene when he pulls out a tape cassette, doesn't there?
Yeah.
Right. On the making of, you see a little clip where John Cena's talking to little Bray.
Yeah.
Right. And he's telling him, like, we used to have these things like tape cassettes. You have 8 songs.
Yeah.
Right. And you pull it in,
like an
listen
eight-track.
to 8 songs, and then you got to pull it out, flip it over, and pull it back in and listen to the 8 songs again. My little Bray's like, "Oh, wow, that's well mad." I thought, shit, man, how old are we?
Oh, I know.
These kids, literally, like, kids these day and age, right, who were like 10 or maybe 15 years old, have never seen a tape cassette or a VHS.
Yeah. I reckon if I pulled a VHS tape out to like a 20-year-old today, they'd be like, "What the heck is that?" It'd be like us, like, I remember like when I first heard about 8-tracks, and I was like, "What the hell's an 8-track?" Because they were before our time. They were like, what, the 70s?
Yeah.
And what have you.
You're talking.
Yeah. So it's like the same type of thing, isn't it? But I bet no one would even know what a bloody cassette tape was. Here he comes.
And if you've never seen a tape cassette before, kids,
A VHS.
that is what this is, a VHS.
Yeah.
The Jungle Book, I
God.
think it's like 1980s something. And look at this. Inside here, we used to have VHS players,
Oh, yeah.
and you used to put this tape inside, right? You couldn't skip scenes or anything. You had to literally wind it back if you want to watch it from the start.
Do you remember
like
as well
10 or
when you
15 minutes?
used to go to your local video rental store,
Yeah.
and it'd always be like, "Be kind, rewind" or something, and like you'd always get penalised if you returned your tapes and you hadn't rewound them. I remember the
Blockbuster.
hottest technology when I was younger was when my mum and dad got a VHS player that when
Yeah.
it got to the end of the tape, it auto rewound back, and it had
Yeah.
fast
That's when
rewind
you know
on
you're
it,
living life, mate.
and it had super fast rewind on it. It was like, my God. But yeah, Jesus. But there's a whole generation out there that are now adults that probably never seen a VHS in their life. I mean, a lot of them now would be like, "What's a DVD?"
Yeah. That's true. Like,
CDs as well, mate.
Mate, do you remember
CDs.
mini discs?
Yeah, mini discs. Yeah, mini
You
discs.
used to have like 500 or 600 songs on a mini disc.
Oh yeah,
You were like, you'd be done one, mate, if you had a mini disc player.
Oh, I know.
Didn't last long though, did they?
No, they were kind of like, was it Sony that brought them out? Was it like
It's
Sony
like-
trying to make them the next CD?
They lasted like 2 or 3 years, didn't they? And then died out.
Because obviously Sony developed the CD. They were the ones that developed the CDs, and then I think they then brought out the Blu-ray as well. So because they won over from HD, not HD DVDs, but you know what I mean. Well, it was HD DVDs actually, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They won over Blu-ray. Yeah. But yeah. So back to the film. So then we end up in Naples, and that's when Captain Marvel walks into that bar.
Oh, is that bit? Yeah. So yeah. So
It's like
she went
that
for
joke, in it. Captain Marvel walks into a bar, Asks if
if anybody wants shots,
yeah,
I'll pulls a shotgun out.
She literally walks into a bar and she says, right, drinks on me, guys. I just have a few questions. And what kind of bar are they running where it's like the guys come over to her and say, you can't ask questions. What are you doing coming in here asking questions of people and stuff like that? And it's like, Jesus Christ, who runs this establishment?
Yeah, it was generally a case of she walked in, asked if anyone's seen Dom, and they came over. You can't ask if anybody's saying, and swung a punch at her straight away.
I know, I mean, I'm not being funny, guys. She just offered to buy everyone a drink. Like, what's your beef?
Yeah.
What's your beef? And then all of a sudden she kicks, I think she kicks one of the guys, doesn't she? And then the barman, for some reason, throws her a pump action shotgun.
As you do.
As you do. And I'm like, why has he done that? Why is he encouraging violence in his bar to the fact that he's given her a shotgun? I mean, accessory to like whatever crime she's going to commit with that thing.
I reckon, right? He's got CCTV all over the place, right?
You reckon?
And then he's trying to set them up for snuff videos and sell them online.
Possibly,
A bit like OnlyFans, but for snuff videos in dirty bars.
I don't get. I'm not being funny, mate.
It doesn't make sense.
Brie Larson is fit in this film.
It's supposed to be fit, to be fair.
She is gorgeous.
She looked really confused, though, didn't she?
She did look confused. She did look like she'd wandered onto the wrong film set.
She's like, hey, what?
Yeah, she did a lot of the
looking
time.
for Dom.
It's like, Dom, I think she was probably just contemplating her life choices of how she's ended up in the Fast and the Furious franchise from having her own Marvel film. I pretty much I wouldn't be surprised if that's what the look on her face was, because but so she goes in and she's looking for Dom, and then all of a sudden she chooses the right bar and she finds him, but then again she does have that God's eye thing, doesn't she?
Yeah, true.
Is it God's
that
eye?
would be quite easy to find it. Yeah,
God's Jap's eye. So she goes over and she starts chatting to Dom, and she's like, she's like his genie, and gives him 3 wishes. One of them being that she needs to
get Letty out.
Get Letty out, and she's like, oh no, she's in a black site, she's off the grid, and he's like, well, I'm sure you can do it. I'll tell you what, I know you said you can't do it, but here, have this necklace. I'm sure that'll incentivize you. Have a bit of faith. It was just proper cheesy when he hands over his cross.
But again, right? She's in a prison in the middle of nowhere in Antarctica.
Yeah.
Right?
So
how did she get a flight to Antarctica straight away?
Well, that's what I was going to wonder, because I think we need a button press for this one.
Bullshit!
Right. The next scene, though, you see her walking through an X-Men style prison.
Yeah.
Where the wall literally looks like a blank wall, and then it opens up like Minecraft bricks.
That's kind of what I was saying before about that guy's office. It's like, clearly, if I was working for an organisation and I went somewhere and this was one of their offices or a prison or something, I'd be like, yeah, I'm working for the bad guys here. If you've ever seen a single James Bond film, that place may as well have been in a volcano. It may as well have been a volcano layer. Because the way the walls move and everything, and like you say, how the hell did she get over to Antarctica in like 5 minutes? And she went all that way just for a 10-minute conversation with Letty. Now, first of all, how did she get authorization to even do that? Because it kind of comes as a bit of a surprise to Ames later on to learn that she's actually gone to Antarctica. Well, we don't know it's Antarctica at this point, but she's gone to the black site. And I mean, you can't just suddenly decide you want to go to Antarctica and just decide to go over there, and no one on Earth's going to notice, because I'm not being funny. There's not like, I'm pretty sure you can't just charter a flight to Antarctica.
No,
especially not to a black site. I mean, someone's going to pick up on this. I mean, I understand like nepotism and stuff like that, but the fact that her dad just happens to be, I'm assuming he run the agency at some point, so she suddenly gets special treatment because she's related to him. How the hell does that work?
Yeah, it's a bit weird, mate, honestly.
But then again, she is hot, so I'd maybe let her off. Maybe she just blew away there.
That's it. And then, before you know it, Dom's back in Rio, and he turns up to the most ridiculously party for a street race.
Yeah.
And that's when Dante turns up as well, looking like Aladdin, within 2 minutes of the race.
Sorry, I just want to nip back. Sorry, just about the black site thing. So Captain Marvel's plan is she goes into there, she speaks with Letty, and she says, "Don't worry, there's like an ultrasonic thing blocking the sound," because of course there is.
Yeah.
And none of the guards seem to think that's suspicious in the slightest.
Yeah.
And then her plan is to stab Letty.
Yeah.
Right. And then pretend that Letty kind of I don't know, takes a hostage, even though she's the one that just stabbed her. And surely they've got video footage, because he does technically watch the video footage back later. Yeah. So anyway, her plan is to stab Letty for some reason. So she travelled all the way to Antarctica in high heels, to stab Letty in the shoulder.
Yeah.
Right, okay. And then Letty pretty much sums up this whole film. And from then on, when I was watching the rest of this film, I kept using this line that Letty uses because Captain Marvel walks out of the room after she's just been stabbed and the guards are holding her, and she goes, "Really?" And then throughout the film, all I was thinking was Letty's got this film pretty much summed up, because the whole from then on, everything that happened, I was just like, really?
I was like, oh, come on, you can't get us to believe this is happening.
No, so sorry, go on. So we're now in Rio, and like you say, the street. So they do the usual where they're all having the funnest time in the world, and all the girls are shaking their ass, and there's fireworks going off, and for some reason, every car that seems to pull up, they applaud it for some reason. I don't really get that.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but back in the day, I went to some of them like street racing meets. I think they used to do one in Warrington at the Riverside and stuff like that. And I don't know if it's just because it's a different climate, and obviously we're in the UK and it's bloody cold, but I didn't see any bloody women shaking their ass and having a party time and stuff like that.
Oh, no, yeah, nobody had like shots everywhere and like doing whatever they were doing. Do you know what I mean?
In hot pants,
and like you say, the girls
that.
wearing hot pants, bikinis, and looking fit as fuck. No, we just got like little Chavs and little Vicky from Little Britain.
Chavs, and then you had the lad who'd come along in his car and be trying his best to pull a donut in his little Vauxhall Nova.
Yeah. You didn't have all these Subarus and stuff, did you?
No. There was definitely no like Porsches and all these hyped up cars and stuff. But yeah, I've had, I suppose, Rio. So am I right in thinking that Dom's arranged this meet for some reason?
No, I think it's the other guy.
The other guy?
Yeah, I think he went there, met up with him, to then hopefully Dante's guys would see Dom there, then tell Dante that he's there, and then get him to arrive, which obviously he did, looking like Aladdin.
I was going to say, I've got that down. He looked like the genie from Aladdin. He turns up and I'm like, oh my God, he is the genie from Aladdin.
What is he wearing?
What the hell is he? He turns up and he looks like the genie. And I'm like, is he here to, I mean, Dom's already had his 3 wishes. I mean, I did watch a comedian the other week, and they were saying, obviously, you know, when you meet a genie, the usual thing is you can't wish for more wishes, but there's nothing to stop you from wishing for unlimited genies.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what he did. Maybe his second wish was, I'd like another genie and I'd like him to be in Rio.
He turns up with loads of cash.
Yeah, he turns up, drops £1 million. I didn't quite get why he just suddenly dumped $1 million on his car. I know he says like anyone can beat me, but I know he's not there for that kind of race. But
see, here's one for you.
Why
would it be $1 million they drop down, or would it be the currency for Brazil?
What is the currency for Brazil?
I thought,
I'm tempted to say pesos, but isn't that Mexico? I honestly don't know. But I don't know.
Maybe, like you say, right? If you lived in Rio, like if you lived in Rio,
yeah,
right. If someone give you a $10 bill, you can't spend it anywhere.
That's the other thing. This guy is supposedly from Rio. His dad's from Rio, and blah 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 blah. And he acts like he runs the Rio streets and all this stuff, and because he has all these guys working for him and stuff like. You'd think he'd at least have the accent.
Yeah, that's the point.
But and then
in a fancy world, don't forget.
Just before he turns up, some random woman who turns out to be Dom's sister's cousin's former roommate, or that bird who was Hobbs's, whatever.
Hobbs's partner's sister, which we never heard of before.
Who, according to you, is Brian's dad.
Yeah,
mum.
Yeah.
But she could have been his dad. Either one is as weird as it's going to come, as we discussed earlier. But yeah, so she turns up and like she almost challenges Dom to a race. But like it's kind of like, who is this bird? She's just angry for no reason. But I'd bang her.
She's pretty fit. I was about to say she's pretty fit.
She is pretty fit. I definitely would. And then so the genie turns up and all the guys start pointing guns at each other. Now this is
weird.
This is the biggest bullshit section that kind of got me was. So they pull all the guns at each other, and then the genie challenges Dom to a race. Aquaman challenges Dom to a race, right? And then next thing is like, we'll have this race, blah blah blah. Everyone puts the guns down, and then they're all friends again. And like he kind of zooms out of the party, and they're all just kind of partying like they hadn't just had the literal Mexican standoff.
They're still doing the Mexican standoff, and they're all dancing though as well. And
it's like, it's almost like, well, hey guys, have you not seen what's going on over there? They're just, everyone's pointing guns at each other. It's all kicking off. It's like, well, mate. And then he challenges him to a race, and he's like, all right then, yeah. And he says, well, if you win, Dom, you get to take me in. And if I win, then just, you don't want to lose. But then I was wondering, well, they're having this race, and why did Dom's mate and this other bird decide they were going to join in on the race? I don't get that.
Yeah, it's a good point, actually, yeah.
I don't get why they suddenly decided they were going to join in. And then he says to Dom, Dunny, he basically hints that he's going to have to choose one of them. But then this kind of scene, I'm kind of rambling on a bit now. But so they start off on the race, and then it kind of flashes, and they've got the two goons that have decided to join in on the race have got bombs on the bottom of the cars, right? But then, as they're driving along in the racing, right, he's talking to himself, saying, "Oh, which one are you going to choose?" But it's almost like Dom can hear him.
I was about to say that as well, because I was thinking to myself, I put my notes right. Can Dom actually hear what he's saying? And I did like the way Dante was like stuck his head out the window and goes, "Yes, I know what you're thinking. The carpet matches the drapes."
Yeah.
And he's trying to get inside Dom's head, isn't it? Because you can see him sticking his arm out the window, speaking to Dom and that.
Because he does kind of hint and says, "Which one are you going to choose?" and what have you. But he's about as clear as mud. But yeah, Dom kind of gets the context of it and stuff. But how does he know that there's a bomb on both of the cars? And like you say, as he's driving along, he's kind of talking, saying, "Oh, which one is he going to choose? Is he going to be number one? Is he going to be number two?" But then it cuts to Dom, and it's almost like Dom can hear him. And it's like, what? How? It must just be Dom's clairvoyance again coming through.
Definitely is. Because the guy takes off first.
Yeah.
Dante doesn't like it, blows up that car, and then obviously you see Dom panic then. And like you say, Dante there goes, "Oh, it's trick really," and go blowing them both up.
Yeah.
And then it's like Dom heard it at the exact same time. And then here is a massive
bullshit.
Right? Because he crashes the woman's car into a parked car.
Yeah.
Right? Her car goes flying up into the air, happens to clip the bomb perfectly as the car's side on. That blows up. But yet, throughout the film, like American Ninja, for an example, as soon as a little bit of a flame hits a car or something, it's a massive explosion.
Yeah.
But then this car is half on fire on its roof, sliding down the street for 200 feet. He pulls over, pulls the girl out of the car, and she's not got a scratch on her.
Exactly. That's what I've got here. Not a single scratch. She survived the crash, not even a scratch. I've got written on my notes. How?
And the car's on fire.
Yeah.
Right, she's been using NOS, which is extremely flammable.
Yeah. Because we learned that from the first one when them motorcycle guys shoot up the car and he goes, "NOS!" and they run off and it blows up. But yeah. And then
that's when it was more realistic, though, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, I suppose. But my God, it was before Dom went into his coma, obviously. And
there's another bit of bullshit in it.
And then the next thing is he's talking to two dead bodies.
I love this scene.
It is weird, but I couldn't help but think, who is he doing this bit for? It's like,
I think it's more of an info dump for us, isn't it, really?
I think it was at this point I realised that this guy is literally off his box crazy. But I do, all the way through it, I do get Joker vibes, especially like almost like Heath Ledger Joker, because he just wants to watch the world burn, because the whole thing through it is he doesn't want to kill Dom, he wants him to suffer.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's like, why kill him when I can make him suffer? But I mean, he does a bloody good job. This guy has definitely got clairvoyance or something. He's got a crystal ball, because there's too many goddamn coincidences.
Perfect timing all the way through. All the way through.
Yeah, he sat there talking. He's got two dead bodies there, and he's talking to them. He's got his laptop out, and then he nicks all the money. Yeah,
that's what this scene's pretty much just to let us know that he's hacking, and he's trying to make the gang suffer, who are now in London, and he's stole a load of money off them.
Yeah. The one thing I don't get right is, so are they running some kind of communist, like, kind of little social club or something? Because have they all got their money pooled into the one account?
I was thinking that.
Because surely they've all got their own separate bank accounts, but they're like, oh, well, because and then cuts. So they've arrived in London, haven't they, on that cargo container full of aftershave.
Roman just steps out.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this stuff.
Because I love that. And they're like, the British woman's like, "Where are we?" She's like, "Oh, I brought you home." And she's like, "Yeah, brilliant, to the most surveilled city in the world."
Yeah, London.
Yeah. And then, so then it kind of cuts to them, and they're in the Taj is looking into money and stuff, because they obviously they kind of realise that shit's going down, and they're saying, "Oh, we're going to need this, we're going to need that, we're going to need that." And he goes, "Oh, well, how are we going to pay for it? Because all our money's gone." And I was thinking, well, what, do you all just pool your money into one big kitty? It's like, how does this work? It's like, I know your family.
Yeah, except for Roman, who turns around, opens up his bloody thing like some dodgy back dealer. Like, drop by some weed, little 10 bags or this thing, but he's got like packs of money.
I know. What does he always walk around with them?
Yeah.
I have questions about this because, like you say, he's got like loads of these little pockets, and they're all just full of stacks of like $100 bills. And it's like, is he just constantly walking around with all this cash just kind of strapped to him like some kind of suicide bomb?
Yeah,
it's weird.
It's a little bit of a shame though, isn't it? Because the UK don't accept dollars.
Well, yeah, so there is that. So,
it's fucking pointless carrying it, mate.
It's like going to America and taking euros. It's bloody stupid. A girl in work did that, A girl I work with went to America, got all the way to New York, got into an Uber, over to a fella's house, literally went to tip the taxi man with €1, and the guy looked at her like, what the hell is this monopoly money you're giving me? But yeah, anyway, so there are dumb people out there that do this. No offense.
They do it.
Yasmin, if you ever get around to watching this, I am calling you dumb. But yeah.
A little bit of a blonde moment.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so it just kind of baffles me. And then they go to an internet cafe, and the first question they have is that internet cafe using dial-up, because all I heard was modem sounds.
Yeah, and it's actually run by Pete Davidson, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, I was looking at him and I'm like, I know that man, Pete Davidson. Isn't he a comedian or something?
Yeah, stand-up comedian who's been banging Kim Kardashian.
That's the one.
And what's the other fit one? Ariana Grande somehow.
Ah, yeah.
How?
I don't know, because he looks like he lives in the gutter at the back, and that's him in real life.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
He's weird. But yeah, so for some reason they're in London, yet they come across this Pete Davidson, who's American, and he's running this internet cafe who still use what sounds like dial-up, because they walk in and he's just making dial-up sounds. Like, I know they've obviously added sound effects in, but I'm like, my God, that took me back to the 90s.
One thing I did love about this scene, though, right, is when Roman starts having a little bit of a fight with Ludacris.
Yeah.
They're fighting on the floor, and he gets sort of throws his fucking talcum powder in the air. Pete Davidson goes, he's like the ghetto magician.
What is that talcum powder? What is that about?
I've not got a fucking clue, mate.
All I seen was him just go and blow this talcum powder or whatever in the air. I'm like, I looked at Hannah. I was like, so what did he just throw in the air? What is that? Why does he? Because doesn't he throw some in his face or something as well?
Yeah.
But yeah, so they start having a fight over the money. But I love the fact when he goes when he's giving him the money, and he's like, he says, "Han, you can have some because like you're gonna pay, you're good for it and stuff like that." And he just goes like that to Ludacris. Receipts.
I'm gonna need receipt for everything.
Oh yeah.
Then Han starts tripping out on the muffin
the
as
fun
well.
muffins. Yeah, the fun muffins.
Then we find out Pete is actually sold them out to the agency.
How cheap is Roman though when he's trying to bribe him, and he's like he's got a stack of, it's the worst thing you can ever do is you don't pull out the stack of money so they can see exactly how much you've got and then start trying to bribe them, because it's like, well, clearly I'm going to want all of that.
Yeah.
And it's like,
just give me like $1 at a time.
But yeah, he puts $100 down, and it's like, well, I don't get what they were there to do, because were they there to try and buy something? Because what's he buying for $100? I don't.
Yeah, he runs a bit of like a black market. That's why it's a little bit of the way it is run out.
Yeah, but then Han's just, because I was wondering, like, because Han eats them muffins, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden has the brainwave to go and see Jason Statham, the guy who supposedly killed him. Now, I did get that we missed out about Uncle Jacob at the gas station, and he suddenly has a passport printer in the back of his car for some reason. Yeah,
because like I say, he's ex-agency. So
is that what he is? Is he ex-agency?
He's ex-something anyway, like special ops or whatnot, yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, you see Uncle Jacob getting a new ID with a kid. They're on their like own little adventure. It's literally like a 30-second scene anyway,
isn't it? It's a weird little kind of like solo kind of side story in it. It's
yeah. Just keep jumping to and from, don't
It's just weird, yeah. I don't really get why do we even paying John Cena to be in the film?
That's it.
Just to babysit the kid.
I've just put like see Jack Reacher and Jacob on their journeys. 30 seconds, nothing really happens, nothing really worth talking about that.
Not really, no.
Then, like say, we're back in Rio, and we find the random girl, his actual sister of Alina, the one who died, who used to be The Rock's partner, and the mother of Little B.
Yeah.
But don't you think it's a little bit weird, right? The sister has all the files on Dante from her sister's work before she died.
Yeah, it is weird because because she says, "Oh, I've still got all the files for this Dante fellow," and it's like, of course you do, love. Because that was another point when I'm like, yeah, Letty's right, really? Because I think that deserves a button press. Because I'm not being funny. Your sister died like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's
something.
around about that.
How
Yeah.
old's that kid? Because I'm assuming she never. If that is the mother, if you are right and that is the mother, because for some reason I'm a bit skeptical that she is.
Because that girl actually turns around and says, like, go get my nephew.
Yeah. Well, I just thought it's just because
Random.
like she was suddenly part now Dom's extended family. Which also includes a tramp that lives at the back of the local 7-Eleven.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's and then she just says, "Oh, I've got all her old case files here." It's like, yeah, of course you fucking do, love. Of course you do.
Of course you do.
You have these confidential files from what were they, like Interpol or something?
Yeah.
Just happen to be kicking around the house, and they're all still currently up to date, even though that happened 10 years ago.
Yeah, and bearing in mind, she actually left Interpol to go on the run with everybody, doing all these side quests with the racing people.
Yeah, it's just bloody stupid.
A little bit weird. Then we're back at the X-Men jail as well, which I'm going to call
Bullshit!
Because we see Cypher on the bed.
Yes. But, yeah, because we see doing like some kind of hospital, and then this big like robot spider arm thing comes down, and Michelle Rodriguez is Letty's got a little cut from Captain Marvel stabbing her in the prison cell, and then it somehow repairs her like some kind of futuristic tech. And again, what year are we in here? Obviously in Dom's coma, we're like 50 years into the future with tech alone, because it somehow repairs her like something out of Star Trek or something.
It's really weird, isn't it?
But do you know what the robot arm reminded me of? Like Mr. Handy or something off. Is it Mr. Handy off Fallout? It's like just one of them little little things. But yeah, then she looks over and she sees that Cypher's in the bed next to her, and it's like, yeah, okay, of course, he's in the same black site. But then there's a little control panel next to Cypher's bed, like this tiny little control panel, and she just, without even looking at it, pulls a few wires out and somehow manages to override the whole thing. Now, first of all, right, if you're designing that bed and you're installing that, and you're obviously it's a black site and you're keeping prisoners in it, why would you ever have the bed linked up to the computer system in the first place for them to be able to override it? Yeah. And not only that, she then reroutes anesthetic gas into the main air vents and gases all the people that are watching, all the doctors and everything, right? Yep. Who the hell designed that system that you can even allow anesthetic gas to get into the air vents in the goddamn first place? But then, not to mention to be controlled by the little bedside thing next to her. What? You honestly expect me to believe that is possible and that is the case? And then,
like I say, right, it's just completely weird as fuck. But the thing is, right, if that gas went around in the whole room, right, not every single person would drop at the same time. You think, oh, you're right, Brian. He goes, oh, I'm feeling a little bit lightheaded, something's all right. You go, oh, you okay, mate? Have a sit down. Then Phil might have something else later on. Not every single one of them drop instantly.
Just instantly like that. You'd think at least one of them would have just
stupid
or something, But the fact that she even managed to do that, and there's just, like I say, there's just so many questions. First of all, who the hell wired that bed up? Who the hell put that computer system to be able to do that? And like I say, who connects the vents up so the anaesthetic can be rerouted to it? It's just, why would that even be a thing?
That's it. And then you have a little bit of a fight as well, don't they?
Yeah,
start throwing each other around.
He said, why are you helping me escape? I needed 2 people because they need to pull them. They need to pull them things, which I don't really get what them things they were pulling for.
No, to get out that room.
Yeah.
So to get out of a medical room, which has got like 50 staff in, what happens if one of the staff members needs to nip to the toilet and like one gets left behind?
So it's that whole thing where they need to pull the things down at the same time to get out of the room. But then they pull the things, and then she says, how long have we got? And she says like 4 minutes, and then Letty decides that now's a good time to have a fight.
Yeah, as you do.
For some reason.
As you do.
So they have this fight, and it's, as far as fights go, it's all right until about the time that they jump through a glass window.
And that little robot starts trying to cut them up in the middle.
Yeah, but not only that, but the way she gets the robot to start cutting them up is she just on one of them little computer screens again, and then all of a sudden the robot, she just happens to know that the robot's going to come along and go laser through. And I'm just like, okay then, right, yeah, okay, yeah, that happened.
That just happened.
And then you start fighting and crawling around on the floor in all the glass, and none of you get caught or shredded or anything, and you just jump down a couple of stories through some glass and had to roll around on the glass on the floor, and there's not a single cut on you, and you're all okay, and then 5 minutes later you're friends.
Yeah, bearing in mind, right, that Letty picks up a handful of glass and then throws it into Cypher's face.
Yeah.
It's like she's got no cuts on her hand.
Nope.
She's got no cuts on her face.
Nope.
Both been punching each other, both look fine.
Yep.
And then she gets up the top, and that's when we do actual find out we're in the Antarctica.
Yeah.
She sticks her head up, and then she goes back down, and then the best
what I
mates
want to
again.
know is why Cypher even let her climb all the way up that pipe to Antarctica for her to go, oh, it's a bit snowy up here, for her to climb all the way down, and Cypher's there in a big Arctic jacket, boots on and all sorts, and chucks her one of the jackets, and it's like...
Where'd she get a jacket from?
There is that. Where the hell did you get a jacket from, love? And why didn't you just say, love, there's no point climbing all the way up there, it's Antarctica, at least put the jacket on first. Yeah. Before you go bother climbing all the way up there, for her to just come down and chuck a jacket. So yeah, well done. Slow clap. But I suppose she did start a fight with her, so maybe she did feel like being a bit of a dick.
And here's another bit as well, which got me, right? So the next scene, we're back following Jacob and the kid. And they've actually managed to board a plane. But not only are they boarded the plane, but we've got 3 agency guys which managed to book a last-minute seat onto the exact plane where they were and where they're going from and to.
Yep.
How?
I, honest to God, do not know, because up until this point, they've kind of lost the tail, and the only time they get picked up on is when they're walking through the foyer of the airport.
To check in?
They get seen on the cameras. So within that, 5-minute window of them being seen by the cameras and then getting on the plane, I know obviously boarding a plane and stuff does take a while, but like you say, they managed to book some tickets, 3 of them, onto a flight that may have probably been fully booked in the first place.
Yeah.
But the biggest question I've got is that through all this, on the top of his car and everything like that, and when he's walking through the airport, he has what appears to be a surfboard of some shape, giant surfboard in a giant bag that he's carrying everywhere with him. Now, an air hostess comes over to him, walks down the aisle, gives him 3 bottles of vodka.
3 bottles of Smirnoff vodka, gives him a little nod.
It gives him some kind of key, gives him a wink, and then he goes, on 3, and walks off, and then the 3 men follow him. Right, okay. So, first of all, who is this air hostess, and why the hell is she giving him the key?
There's no backstory to her, is there?
Because the key kind of, we find out that the key allows them to access to underneath the plane, right? Mm-hmm. So the 3, as they walk off, the 3 men get up off the seats and they follow them to the back. He manages to knock them all out and shove them into a toilet without making a single noise or any other passenger even noticing that there's just been a massive 4-man brawl in the back of the plane, literally a meter away from some of them.
Yeah. And bearing in mind, right, they have air marshals on a lot of planes these days.
Yeah. I did read something, though, and I might be wrong, so if I am, I might need to cut this bit out. But apparently, I think the air hostess who gives him the thing is Paul Walker's daughter.
All right.
I think so. I'm sure I read that somewhere, that it was Paul Walker's daughter. So,
that'd be good
anyways.
If it was.
Huh?
That'd be good if it was.
Yeah, so then they climb into the bottom of the plane, and then we find out that this surfboard thing that he'd been carrying around everywhere is actually a glider.
Not a little glider, by the way. No. This is like a massive futuristic Black Ops style glider.
Futuristic on a passenger plane that he sets up in the bottom, right? So God knows how he's even managed to do this or convince the airline company to let him do it or anything like that. I'm assuming he has some kind of contacts. So he said...
Am I right in saying, right, when he opens up the bottom of the plane, right, the air pressure in the cab should pretty much go... suck everything out like a big vacuum.
I should imagine so, yeah.
Yeah,
because it's a pressurized cabin.
Flying about 10,000 feet.
Yeah, because they've not gone down, because even if the, let's say the bottom wasn't pressurized, as soon as they opened that little cargo hatch to go down there in the first place, it would have depressurized the cabin.
Yeah.
Anyway, or at least it would have, some pressure would have moved from some place to the other, which would have kind of alerted people that there was something going on.
Yeah, and I can't imagine a Boeing 747 or your standard passenger flight plane having one of them trapdoors anyway.
No, and having one of them little cargo hatch things that goes out. So it was all just perfectly timed, and then all of a sudden, and then the thing runs on vodka as well, which is another questionable type thing, because if it's a glider and it's going to be using the steam, because one of them planes is probably already going about 600 miles an hour, and when they drop out of it, he's going to glide down to the ground.
But I just realised.
What?
Right, they was in, I think they're in Las Vegas or Hollywood, where they are. Well, that's where they live, because you see the Hollywood signs, don't you, at the start?
Yeah, so they live in LA.
Right. So they've travelled from LA to Portugal, and that's where they dropped down in the glider. So they've been on a plane 15 hours. There might have been a transfer flight, because obviously you have to stop off somewhere else.
Because they did drive for a bit as well before they went to the airport, but they're not, they've not drove that far.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Would you not get like a transfer or something like that? Would it be a direct flight going to, say, Spain or somewhere further?
Well,
I don't think it's going to Portugal, that plane, because obviously they've glided out of it, dropped down
Well, yeah. And,
mid-flight.
and what are possibly fake passports as well. Because
We're looking too much into this, aren't
it's
we?
just, it just goes back to the whole realism thing. So, he's then like I say, so then the plane drops out the glider, and the glider just produces these wings. I'm like, that glider's got to have weighed something, and he's been carrying it around all day like it's nothing.
Oh, shit. Did you know what I've just realised?
What?
A massive plot hole there.
What?
Right. So the God's Eye can pick him up on surveillance camera.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give them a little bit of leeway for that, right?
Right.
But the agency still didn't know that they've changed their name on passports.
Yeah.
So when they've checked in to what flight they're going on, they wouldn't be clocking in as Jacob. They'd be like Adam and John.
Yeah.
Right.
I never
Like
thought
Adam
of that,
and John Smith.
Yeah.
So they've booked on these flights. Agency don't know what their names were, so they don't know what flight they've booked in.
And
To
even if
then
they
book
did,
free agency guys on the plane.
and even if they did, and they were looking at surveillance in the airport, they wouldn't know the exact flight until the moment they were boarding.
Yeah.
In which case,
Because you don't get on the gate until you're at the.
well, in which case, he could have just, because even if they were smart about it, you just wouldn't go to the gate to the last minute, and you make sure there were last passengers going in, and then there's no way that some random agents, free agency guys, are going to be able to board the plane. So, yeah, press the button.
Let's get that button pressed.
Bullshit!
Yeah, so
Thanks, Arnie.
yeah, so then they glide down, and all of a sudden we're now in Portugal for some reason.
That's it.
Um,
And now we're back in London.
Yeah, no,
with
so
the gang.
yeah, no, we shoot back to London, and I'm assuming that Han is still hopped up on these muffins because he goes to go and see Jason Statham,
The guy who killed him.
the guy who killed him, and Jason Statham doesn't know that Han is alive, so he doesn't know that he fucked up the job because he knocks on the door and he said, and out is Brainwave. He must have been the one out the four of the guys using the brain cell at that point, because he then decides that he's going to go and knock on the door himself and confront Jason Statham to ask for some help, because for some reason in London it's the next point of call is to go to the Jason Statham.
The guy who tried to
The
kill
guy
you.
who tried to kill you. So
Yeah.
as you can imagine, he knocks on the door. Jason Statham opens the door and he goes, oh, normally when there's a guy who I believe I've killed turns up, it's usually some kind of revenge or some bollocks like that.
As you
he
would
says.
think that.
As you would. And then Han gets his hand and decides to put it into his jacket, which I think he goes to try and get some kind of snack out of.
Yeah, he's always eating. I don't know if you noticed that. Every single scene, he has something to eat.
There's a time and a place when you're confronting an assassin to go and stick your hand willy-nilly inside your jacket like you're about to pull out a gun. I can assure you, if there's any advice I can ever give you out there, if you ever go to meet your killer and it's the first time you've met him since he killed you,
Don't take some peanuts.
don't knock on the door, say hello, and then go to put your hand in your jacket pocket. Especially when the guy has just mentioned that you're there purely for revenge, obviously.
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
But
So then a cool little fight happens, actually. I quite like this fight.
yeah.
So a little bit of a fight happens. Agency turn up. Statham's just Statham. Oh, God.
Were you thinking you were hearing things at first when he was punching that punch bag?
Oh, no, I heard that, right.
I thought I was like, what am I hearing here?
Yeah, no, it's like a perfectly shaped punch bag. Like you can see it's a normal punch bag, but you can't see body parts or anything inside it.
Yeah.
No, there's no slack to it. You know what I mean? So you can tell there's nobody in there.
So him and Han have a little fight.
It's a good fight though.
Have a bit of fisticuffs, but to be honest, it was quite tragic because Han's snacks get broken and end up
I
on
was
the
trying to
floor.
work out what snacks were they. I thought they looked like honey roasted nuts.
You know what they look like to me? Do you know, remember them like salt and vinegar sticks you used to get, like the crisp sticks, and they were like,
They were more like, do you know when you get the peanuts with like the crispy outside?
oh, with the coating on, coated peanuts,
yeah. It looked like something like that, and red they were. That's what I thought they were anyway.
And then agency soldiers arrive, pretty much the same guys that tried to
Perfect timing again, yeah.
take little B, and they come in all the ballistic gear, yet they can't take a punch.
It just gets done in straight away.
They
By,
do.
you know,
I mean, they're not even there to I assume they're not even there to take them alive. They probably got a kill order as well, but none of them think to use the guns on them. And they all just start having little fist fights. But again, they're wearing all the ballistic gear, ballistic helmet, ballistic clothing, etc., etc., etc. They even coming in a bastard armored truck, for Christ's sake, and yet somehow Jason Statham and Han seem to beat the shit out of them. And even though, like I say, they've got helmets on and so on, I'd challenge anyone to go out there and try and knock someone out by punching their head whilst they're wearing a ballistic military helmet.
Well, you see Roman on the outside, because when they come as well to start fighting them on the outside.
Yeah.
And Roman actually punches one of them in the helmet. You can see him like with his fist. He's like,
I did see that because it's almost
the guy
like...
still got knocked out.
Well, yeah, because I think doesn't he pull the helmet off and then hit him with the helmet?
That's one of the ones inside as well. I know they've done that a few times, yeah.
I think it must have just been about halfway through the film, the director suddenly thought, shit, how are they going to be knocking these people out of our helmets? Roman do this. Tyrese, mate, do us a favour, rip his helmet off and hit him with it, because I've just realised a massive plot hole in what we've been doing this whole time.
Yeah.
So just so we can...
There's one of the scenes, right, where Ludacris is fighting one of them, like, towards the end. Like, he just picks him up and just throws him over his shoulder, and the guy just gets knocked out.
Oh, yeah, was that Taj, did you say? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that when they're in the alley at the back, yeah.
Yeah, he just throws him up. But I've got to admit, it did make me laugh, though, is when they all run through the door, and then the guy obviously unzips himself inside.
Yeah, and there's a guy inside the punch bag.
Like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's like, I understand all this shit, but what the hell was that?
Yeah.
And the guy runs off, and I'm not being funny. If you just got out of a punch bag, right, and you look around and there's all stuff going on, he runs past Jason Statham. Like, I'd run the opposite way from that guy. The guy that's just kidnapped you, put you in a punch bag, and has been beating the crap out of you for the last couple of hours.
I'll be off, mate.
You wouldn't be running. You wouldn't run past him. You'd run the opposite way.
Yeah,
to where he is. But yeah, that whole scene was just weird. They somehow managed to take down all these police guys in, like I say, fully ballistic armor, and then live to tell the tale without a single scratch on them, and they're all just like the luckiest people in the world.
Yeah.
And then we've
got Dom now, aren't we, in Dante's place in Rio?
Yeah, so
which looks like a scene from Saw.
It does a bit.
With all the news clippings everywhere, you got all the TVs playing like
it looked
video
like
footage.
It looked like a low rent version of Jack Reacher's office from earlier, with all the different size screens and everything. It's like he was almost trying to copy him, but I love it when he says, "How embarrassing! You've seen my vision board."
Yeah.
But
like you say, again, Dante, great, isn't it?
But again, it's where's he getting all this footage from? All these photos, all these personal photos of Dom and Letty kissing up close and all stuff like that. I suppose, like, maybe if Dom's got a Facebook page or something and he's just been doing a bit of Facebook stalking. I think
he's been watching all the other ones, mate. I think he watched 1 to 6, got a bit confused himself.
Maybe, to be honest, maybe they need to stop recording their antics, and then people wouldn't be able to then replay them for shadowy people and all that.
I'm going to call a little bit of bullshit again.
Yeah, go on.
Bullshit!
So, you're telling me, right, that when the agency arrests Dom, right, they don't handcuff him, they just lead him straight into the truck, into the armoured truck. He sits down like where you are. Jack Reacher sits opposite him, closer than what me and you are now.
Yeah.
He's got a bloody gun on the side of his leg.
Yep.
And Dom's not handcuffed or anything or restrained.
To be fair, they don't even lead Dom in. They arrive and Dom just walks in like he was his taxi waiting outside, like he just called an Uber and it's like, oh, my Uber's here, right? Come on then.
That's it. And then again, timing, he predicts when a missile is about to hit the truck to the exact second when he's inside the truck. He doesn't know where they're traveling to, what part of Rio they are in or anything like that. 15 minutes down the line, they're in the back of the truck. There's no windows. But then he goes, brace yourself for this. And then literally to the split second, a missile comes down, hits the truck, smashes up everything. Again, over the top CGI. You can see everything blowing up, the cars crashing. Doesn't look realistic or anything. It's just like, why don't you use normal cars just to crash into each other? You don't have to CGI everything.
The outside view of the trucks does not match the inside view of what we see, because, like you say, Dom clearly predicts. He puts his seatbelt on and says, "You want to buckle up?" Like you say, how the hell does he know? But then you see when the trucks get hit by the rocket, they're flipping all over the place, on fire and all sorts. But inside the truck, when we get a view in there, and he's holding Jack Reacher up, because sod the other two guys that are in there. They're not important because you can't see the face, so he only holds him up, but it like rolls over like twice. But on the outside, the car's like flipping and it's on fire and it's like jumping about, and even Gandalf comes down and puts a spell on it, and Harry Potter flies past and puts a Patronus charm on it or something. You know what I mean?
Then he jumps out of the car, starts gets a gun off Jack Reacher. They start fighting each other, and then he manages to pick a car up with one arm.
Well, not even that. They get out of the car. There's bullets flying everywhere, and Dom just walks out like there's nothing going on. Like he just left the house to go for his morning paper. It's like, and like, dude, you're in the middle of a gunfight, and he just literally anyone could have just shot him at that point. I know they're probably under orders not to because he wants to torment him, but yeah, he just walks out. And it's like, dude, you're in a gunfight. Even just a stray bullet would have had you. And then he's like, oh, he suddenly realizes where he is. But like you say, he starts jerry rigging that car, doesn't he?
Yeah. He literally rigs up the car so it's like, so the foot pedal is down, so he keeps the gas on the car, so it's like going like how fast it is. Picks it up with one arm. Bearing in mind it's side on this car at the time. Yeah. Bends down, one arm, picks it up,
whilst
drops it
down,
gun. Uses it as a bit of like a barrier whilst he walks forward, shooting the other people. And then it spins off, hits two other guys. It's just like, oh, come on.
Why would Jack Reacher as well, right?
Film.
During this scene, why would Jack Reacher all of a sudden, just because he sees Dom messing with a car, looking like he's jerry-rigging it or something, why would he suddenly decide to chuck him a gun and shout, I'm listening now? Yeah. I mean, for all he knows from his context is he's got in a car, arrested him, and then for all he knows, this could be a breakout. This could be Dom trying to break out.
Oh, I think it was.
Yeah, I'd be thinking this guy's trying to break out of a prison transport here. We're on the way to prison. And it's like, why are you now chucking him a gun? That's like the stupidest effing thing in the world. I'm like, when he rigs the car, when he pulls it over with like one arm, I was just like, nah. Yeah. No goddamn chance.
Another classic one-liner though by Dante. He turns around and goes, Dominic, stop hurting my new friends. Yeah. That car stump was awesome, by the way. Then uses the girl as a puppet. Goes, that was so cool.
That was funny. He just got better as he went along, to be honest. And then you have Captain Marvel turn up as a little Deus Ex Machina, and then jumps on the car. And I love when he goes, oh, get off my car, and she goes like that with her foot and just kind of scrapes it on the bonnet. And he's like, and then Dom starts beating shit out of him, doesn't he? And he's like, oh, I think you overestimate how much you hit. And then he gets his tooth out, and he goes, you asshole! Yeah. And throws his tooth at him, and I'm just like, oh my god, throws his tooth at him.
Fucking class.
And
then as well, right? Can I just say
the sniper arrives?
Yeah. So you got like the helicopters, they arrive out of nowhere. Like you can't hear a fucking helicopter coming 5 miles away.
Sneaky fucking helicopters throughout the whole film.
It's a stealth copter.
Sneaky.
Right? And then it starts sniping people. Like it shoots Jack Reacher. Miss Marvel, she gets shot as well. Tries to shoot fucking this new bird that's turned up and that like, out of nowhere again.
Yeah.
So Dom managed to outrun a bullet.
Yep.
Does a little bit of Michael Dudikoff from last week's American Ninja. Dodging bullets by diving and stuff.
Does a little hop.
Yeah, does a little hop. Pulls her out of the way. And then he goes behind a car door. He uses that as a shield to stop bullets.
No chance. Even if the sniper rifle...
Bullshit!
Even if the sniper rifle's not a 50 cal, which I'm not being funny, if you're going to pick up a sniper rifle, you're going to want a 50 cal. But even so, a car door, I mean, a thin piece of metal, and then the rest of it's just like door interior padding or whatever.
Yeah.
It's going straight through. I mean, I've seen like videos on YouTube and stuff where people are shooting handguns at car doors and they go straight through.
Yeah. I've seen the Mythbusters. Mythbusters have done it in the past, right? Where they've done it, like, say, with pistols and then ARs, right? And the bullets go through and through, like, both sides of the cars. They say the only safe place to sit would be, like, the front wheel where the engine block is, because you've got a little bit of metal.
Yeah, because, and not to mention, the guy in the sniper rifle, with the sniper rifles in a fucking helicopter, and Dom's on the bridge. Why didn't the helicopter just move around?
Yeah.
I know Dom could, like, turn his little thing, but he's not going to be able to do it forever. And even if he does, he'd be turning his back to Aquaman, who could easily pick up a gun and just kind of shoot him. But yeah,
it's like a 50 cal would have gone straight through the bloody door.
But then he sods off, doesn't he, in the helicopter? The helicopter lands and he buggers off in it, and then he gets the eye of God's eye or something off Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And then he says, "Oh, I'm gonna go get your son," and sods off, right? So then he goes over to Captain Marvel. And, like, she's acting like she's dying, but she's literally just been shot. Like, she's got a little graze on her shoulder.
Yeah, shoulder.
And then the cheesy scene, he gives the cross back that he gave him when they were in Naples, right? But then my biggest question is, the other one comes over and goes, we need to get to the hospital. So then Dom cups her and picks her up and carries her over to the car. I'm like, she wasn't shot in the bastard leg. She can still walk, the lazy bitch.
Did you notice the shrug, though? When she goes, we need to get to this hospital. Captain Marvel's like, nah. I was like, oh, she's got a point.
Yeah, like, I mean, you've just been shot in the shoulder, love. I'm sure you're not going to go without rinsing in pain. And like I say, first of all, I'd be like, pick yourself up, you lazy cow. You didn't shoot you in the leg. Come on, love.
Yeah, get up, fucking walk.
I'll help you up, but you can walk the rest of the way.
Oh god.
I'm like, I was thinking though. I know, I get the impression that Brie Larson as a person is quite like feminist, and men shouldn't do all that. So I was thinking, I bet she hated being picked up and carried like a little baby.
I bet she was
Vin
like,
Diesel.
no, I can do it. Diaz was like, listen, I'm producer, right?
Yeah.
I'm the big hero. We've got to make this look like a good action scene. I'm carrying you off in the sunset.
Yeah, but I mean, I
To go to the hospital to get arrested.
yeah, because family.
Family. And then talking about family, good little segue. We're moving over to Portugal.
Well, I was just going to say, because then just nipping back to London for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Jason Statham, when they go to the garage, right, and he's saying, oh, you can buy all these cars, and I think Taj says, go and ask him for a fucking receipt. I dare you. But then they're looking up and they realise that they've spent all the money on getting like literally every mercenary in the world to go and hunt them. Yeah. And one of the people on the list is Queenie. Who then I found out is
Stephen's mum.
His mum. So then he gets his bag and starts loading every gun in his room into this bag.
Where did he get them from?
Right, yeah. So, but yeah, not to mention where he got all the guns from. But then he puts them in this bag, which seems to be somehow enchanted, because next thing is he just put about 20,000 guns in this bag, and he picks it up and it looks like there's nothing in it. Not to mention it looks
like
light
your
as hell.
laptop bag in it.
Yeah, and then, he just literally gets his little bag. He gets his bag, loads all these assault rifles in, all these handguns and stuff. Everyone like watching him. It's like a big scene, and then he just goes and puts it on his back like he weighs nothing. He goes, right, I'm off, and he's like, you just put a load of guns in there. Surely that's going to be a little bit heavy. I mean, the ammunition alone.
Sorry, didn't take any ammunition, did he? You didn't see him load, did he?
I didn't. No, I honestly, God, didn't see him put any bullets in there. I'll be honest. But no, sorry, I just wanted to touch on Jason Statham and his enchanted bag.
Yeah, it's Mary Poppins bag.
So we end up in Portugal and we go to
disused mine shaft, isn't it?
I called it Uncle Jacob's Bat Cave.
It is a bat cave, really. Uncle Jacob's Bat Cave. I like that, mate. Yeah, it's quite cool actually. And then
he's got his own Batmobile as well.
Yeah, because he pulls out the sheet. Yeah. And it's a cannon car. It looks fucking awesome.
But first of all, I was like, hold on, how often does he go to Portugal? And how in Portugal did he suddenly manage to find this cave? And not to mention, why did he spend all the time putting all this, what looks like kind of some weird like equipment and stuff from like a 1960s Batman program?
Yeah.
And then when did he have time to go and make this bomb car, this cannon car? I mean, what the hell?
I thought it was class, mate.
Oh, yeah.
It's proper like over the top though.
It is over the top.
Like, what?
Because he's like, I get that they're trying to make up because he had the crappy car before, and like all of a sudden it's like, oh, look at me, I've actually got a good car. And it's like, it's not really that good. You just stuck a few pipes on the side of it and turned it into some kind of cannon for some reason.
Which, like, as we find out later on, it starts jamming up anyway, so it's rusted over. He's not been there for that long.
Well, because Aquaman's got God's eye, he suddenly now knows where John said, or Jacob and Little B is, and then for some reason hires an entire fleet of cars to go after them, but they're all the same car.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go on. You can say whatever you want.
Right. So,
go on.
So before, right, we get back to the airport again, right, when Jacob got found out about the agency, that they knew where they were, right? They didn't have the God's Eye at the time.
No.
Right,
no.
So they couldn't use the God's Eye then, right? So Aquaman's always just got it, or Dante, he's always just got the golden, they got the fucking finger.
Yeah.
The
God's Eye.
God's Eye, right?
Yeah.
I keep calling it Golden Eye then. So
Golden
yeah, so he's only just got the God's Eye in Rio.
Yeah.
Right? He's off cameras already, Jacob, because obviously he's flown from a bloody plane, crossing over Portugal, glided to Portugal, straight to the mine shaft cave.
The Bat Cave.
He's walked into the Bat Cave, uncovered the car, right? And somehow Dante is there already with 500 guys set up to ambush them.
Yep. So how the hell did he get from Rio in South America all the way to Portugal in Europe in like 10 minutes? Yeah.
Yeah, because Jacob was there already.
Yeah, I think that deserves a button press.
Bullshit.
So yeah, and then he suddenly sees a fleet of the same car. I mean, how did he arrange all this? So it's like, I need 50 cars. No, they all need to be exactly the same. Yeah, the same color, same everything. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We all need you to drive in unison together right there because,
That's how it works.
Sod being sneaky, you could have just turned up like a couple of guys coming different directions in different cars, maybe been a bit covert.
Yeah.
But no. You give them time to leave the Batcave in the cannon car, sorry. And then this bit is my little pet peeve because they're driving off in this cannon car.
Yeah.
All the guys are coming towards them in their cars, like head on towards them, they're heading towards.
But how did they get from the top of the cliff to down where they were?
Honest to God, do not know. But
because he's in the middle of a valley.
Then he pulls his little thing, cocks one of them, and then lets the kid just kill a couple of guys.
As you do.
As you do.
It's like, hey, son, have you ever killed anybody? No?
Yeah.
Well, it's your lucky day. You're
About
10
to
years
pop
old.
each
You can blow a few people up.
The kid pulls it, kills a couple of guys in the cars, right? Okay. And then he goes to swear. And then he looks at his uncle like he's done something wrong. Not, he's not asked that he just killed a couple of people, but because he was about to swear. And then he says, because he said it earlier as well. He said, you can swear when it's song lyrics, stub tones, and then he goes, I suppose, cannon cars. What he should have said was song lyrics, stub toes, and the first time you kill someone.
Yeah.
Because you've
just won. Quite a few people there, wasn't there?
You've murdered quite a few people there, lad. And I mean, I've flown you all the way to Portugal to kill a couple of guys.
Pretty much. Oh my! Right, and then this is where they get onto the motorway now, isn't it? So they're driving down the motorway. Did you notice?
Fight,
right, on their side of the road, there was no civilian cars, but on the opposite side of the road, there was loads.
Yeah,
it's like, what's happening here? Why is there no cars on your side of the road? So they're flying off, blowing up bloody cars what are behind them and stuff.
Yeah,
and then
getting the body count up
as the mercs are catching up to Uncle Jacob. A massive bloody carrier plane turns up, and this is where the biggest
bullshit
is, right? Because Dom, right, okay, you're not going to believe this, guys. Honestly, right? This is something you got to see to believe, right? Because what happens is
bullshit,
and it's completely
bullshit.
Because it would never happen because it is completely
bullshit,
right? Dom is in a plane traveling approximately 200 miles per hour, right?
Yeah,
it's 100 foot in the air at least.
Yep.
He reverses out the back of the plane, lands on two cars in the middle of him. Both cars blow up, flipping in the air. Dom's car, no damage, does nos or whatever, just bounces off onto the road.
Does
Perfect.
nos.
Not a single scratch on his car. He didn't get whiplash or anything, right? But the cars that he landed on just instantly blown up.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And then Dante gives chase, takes the kid, because the cannon car's been rusted over. It's not got any WD-40 because he didn't have time to, grease it up.
Oh, yeah, because he tries to
Dante
cock it in, and of course it's jammed.
Yeah, straight away. And then I've got to be honest with you. This was quite good acting there by John Cena.
Yeah.
Right, because it was like a quite emotional speech, wasn't it? Saying, Dom, I'm going to help you out.
I'm out of the game.
Yeah, I'm out of the game.
Cut,
Yeah, the fuel's been cut. And then he sacrifices himself by making the car do a bunny hop across the way to the motorway. Then everything just explodes.
So I got a question about that. So he pulls his little switch, right, and the cannons suddenly point themselves down.
Yeah.
My question is, why the hell
would you design it?
Why is that even a design? Why would you even make it so the cannons point down? At what point did he think? I mean, again, it's just unnecessary foresight. He must have been there and he's like, right, crystal ball. Oh, at some point I'm going to need these to point down. Oh, this is how I die. Okay, right. But knowing this film franchise, I won't die. So that's fine.
Yeah, we're back in the next one. Fine, don't worry.
But yeah, so he decides point the cannons down and fires into the ground so he can just do a bunny hop over to the next side of the road to take out a few cars. So, well, okay, then fine. Yeah, just sorry, Dom. I've run out of fuel, so I guess I'll kill myself then.
Yeah, so it's like there's no petrol stations nearby.
But,
so, why not?
So I guess this is where I die. I suppose it's the right thing to do. And Dom's like, yeah, why not? I mean, through half the film, I didn't even know you existed, so why not? You'll be missed. We'll maybe mention you in the next one. But the other thing as well is, right, so when I seen this, I was thinking, right, so let me think about this whole little side story. So John Cena, Jacob, has come along. He's rescued the boy. He's basically he kicked a few mercenaries' asses along the way. He took him on a plane, glided him down, took him to Portugal to be there for 5 minutes to drive along to kill himself. and that was literally his character arc. He just flew to Portugal to sacrifice himself for no reason. And all this could have been avoided if in his cannon car, in his infinite wisdom, he just decided to put a side mirror on his car, so he could have seen when the boy was in the back and bloody Dante, Aquaman, was driving along. He could have seen, looked in his mirror and seen, oh, he's getting a bit close there. He might nick the boy. Maybe I should speed up, or maybe, I don't know, try and ram him. But no, he didn't have any mirrors. He didn't have any mirrors on his car, so he couldn't see him coming. So he didn't see until like Dante drove past with him in the car, and he's like, hold on, that's Brian.
So how did you get there?
Yeah, and then he calls Dom and says, Dom, sorry, mate, he's I've got him all the way to here just for him to be kidnapped out the back of my moving car.
Yeah.
And then we have what possibly one of the cheesiest lines in the whole of the film.
Which one?
When he says to Brian, how do you defeat your dad in a street race? Take away the streets.
I got that. Because what happens? I'll let you explain this.
So,
bullshit.
Yeah, so this bullshit. So as he says this, from the side of this incredibly long bridge that they seem to be on for about 12 hours, two helicopters, silent helicopters, somehow sneak up and come up, and then they fire grappling hooks. So this is like the fifth time grappling hooks have been used in this film, and they go into the side of Dom's car, and then they try and pull him off. But no. Dom is that good of a driver that no, they ain't taking him off the streets. Are you mad?
He's got Nos, don't forget.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. Oh, he uses it. So they're trying to pull, and it's like, oh, shit, what are we going to do here? The writers, I can just imagine the writer there saying, oh, shit, how are they going to get out of this one? Not, right? So he knotties the shit out of them. The helicopters come down, crash into each other.
Bullshit.
And then he's then trailing along two helicopters and decides, what can I do?
He's not losing any speed, though.
Doesn't lose any speed. He doesn't even blink. The car doesn't even notice that he's dragging two helicopters on fire. So he's like, I know what I'll do. I'll just spin the car around a few times so the helicopters fly around and bash into the other cars that are still chasing me. One of which has Dante and Brian in. So he does that, and then he goes over the radio and just somehow knows that his kid is going to be able to hear the radio, and then gives him some cryptic-ass message about finishing his driving lesson from the original, and thinks that this 8-year-old kid is going to understand what he's on about.
Yeah, I'll be like, what the fuck?
And then all of a sudden, both Dante's car with Brian in and Dom's car are doing loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loos alongside each other.
Yeah, proper spinning.
Little B somehow deciphers his dad's message and decides to jump out of the car into his dad's car. Now,
bullshit.
Another bit of bullshit is the car is spinning round, right? So there's going to be extra G-forces acting on Brian towards where Dante is because of the way it's spinning. Yet somehow that kid manages to open the door, right? Which would have been a feat in itself.
Yeah.
Right? Get to the edge and then jump out into Dom's car, forgetting all the G-forces that are going on with the car spinning and everything, and I can't remember what the force is.
You're forgetting it's a fantasy film.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Physics don't exist in this film.
So you can see, if you watch closely though, I did notice that you can see Gandalf up on his hill just casting magical spells and stuff, saying, "You shall not pass, Dante." Yeah, so, and then...
You couldn't make this shit
You
up.
couldn't. If I was just telling you this, like, just this is what I seen on the road the other day. Can you imagine? You'd be like, oh, mate, you'd be calling for a bloody padded room and a straitjacket for me. So, so he manages to jump into Dom's car and they drive off, and they're trying to get to the plane where Jack Reacher is. And then they drive off some like little random dirt road, and then they come to a dam.
Right, just before that dam.
Yes.
Dante again hit us with a great little liner.
Yeah, go on.
You hit me with a helicopter back there. Oh, you big brute.
Oh, so
fucking class.
So Dom comes over to. Do you want to talk through the dam?
Word. Yeah. So we're at the top of the dam, and then we find out Jack Reacher is actually best mates with Dante.
Yeah, he's best buddies.
When I watched it back the second time, you know, when you see it like 10 years ago, when they're inside the office, you actually see Jack Reacher's back of his head.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. When I watched it back the second time, Because you see that clip, don't you? No,
Yeah.
like, and then he turns around and you see it's his face and stuff.
Yeah, because it turns
Yeah.
out he's just hired. The dad's just hired him, haven't they?
So at the very start, when
Yeah.
you see his dad walking into the room, you actually see him sat there, but you
Ah.
see the back of his head and stuff, so you can't really make it out. It's him.
Yeah.
I quite like the way they did that, to be fair. So it's a big twist. He's best mates with Dante. He's been working with him all along, and this is how perfect timing's been happening, even though it's still a bit BS.
It's perfect timing that he somehow arrives at the dam, and then Dante makes out that it's kind of how he planned it, and it's like, how the hell did you plan any of this? I mean, did you know the helicopters weren't going to work? Did you know that Dom was suddenly going to spin round and hit you with a helicopter?
Well, he's got so many contingency plans, hasn't there? Because he's got backup plan after backup plan. Because you have these two trucks, right, which then crash into each other. But then if that didn't work, which it doesn't, he's actually laid the whole dam up with bombs already prior.
Yeah.
What?
So Dom comes to the thing, and then all of a sudden 2 trucks, and he realizes, oh, it's a bit of a setup here. What's going on? And then Dante comes with like his little vantage point, and he gets out his little laptop, and he's got remote controls because he seems to remote control every single fucking car in this thing. And Dom's there, and he's like,
You say the line?
Hey?
Do you want to say the line?
Oh, I don't think I wrote it down, but I know which one you mean. About him taking away the car.
There's one thing you forgot to take off me. You forgot to take my car.
Yeah.
And then sticks it into reverse. And as the trucks are just about to smash into him, he pops a wheeler. Instead of reversing back into the water, which is like 10 feet away, that's how I did know the drop would be, about 10 foot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You'd still be safe from the explosion from the gas. No, he actually wants to drive him and his kid off a cliff of a bloody dam. Define all physics and everything, but don't worry, he's got NOS, so he's all right.
Yes.
So the 2 tankers blow up, which if 2 tankers hit each other in real life, they wouldn't explode straight away. Let's just be honest with you, right?
Yeah.
So it would just be gas getting poured everywhere. Nope, it's a big fireball, blows up again. American Ninja all over again. As soon as a little bit of knocks each other, massive explosion, and then you've got looks like lava from a volcano trickling down the dam as Dom has somehow 30 feet from the dam of the wall.
Yeah.
Then comes back and manages to drive down. You got flames coming through the middle of the car. Bear in mind, NOS is actual really, really explosive and flammable.
Yeah.
Right? Flames are all over that, but it doesn't matter because, you see the CGI going up his fake arm,
Yeah.
pushes it.
It's his fake arm.
Yeah, and then he just drives down the dam as like a little bit of a ramp. The car goes down, massive explosions everywhere, and then they get out and swim to the end.
Everyone's fine. But yeah, so all I was thinking was when they're at the top of the dam and the trucks are coming towards each other, it's like, all I'm thinking is, dude, just get out of the car and jump into the water on the shallow side.
Yeah.
And start swimming. Because at this point, he doesn't know that he's got the dam rigged with bombs. All he knows is that these are coming. So he doesn't do that. But no, he sits there wasting time talking to him on the radio about how he should have took the car. Right. And then, like you say, he jumps over. The trucks explode. Now, I'm assuming they were like towing some kind of tankers. So maybe they did have some kind of fuel on them. But again, why would they just suddenly combust? No. But anyway. But the other thing that got me was they're going down the dam and somehow the flames defy, again, the laws of physics and start going down the dam. Yeah. Right? Now, dams like that are notorious that they have massive updrafts because the wind comes through the canyons, they hit them. Like, you can see videos online of, like, Hoover Dam where people pour water over the edge and it looks like the water's defying gravity because it starts to go up, and it's because of the updrafts.
Right.
So there's no way that then flames are coming down towards them anyway. And then, like you say, his stupid fucking CGI arm.
It's stupid,
the whole timing as well, like you were saying before with like the Jack Reacher guy, Ames, who aims with his rocket. Perfect timing as well on their part because Taj and co come down in their plane and Roman gets on the radio, hey, we're here. Like they knew exactly where they were going to be on the dam. What, are they tracking them as well? Yeah. And then Ames shoots them down with a rocket launcher and it's like, oh, I'm not being funny. You can tell the biggest bullshit of all that is that he shoots it down and the plane comes down, and the motherfucker doesn't even turn around to have a look at the explosion. You well would. You just shot down a plane with that great shot.
Oh, don't forget though, right? It is Fast and Furious, right? Or Fast. I don't know what the fucking name of the titles are anymore, this franchise. But anyway,
Diesel and Friends.
Yeah, it's Diesel and Friends. Diesel and Co, right? And yeah, so, they're not going to be dead hard. Let's be honest, right? There's 2 cars in the back of that car,
yeah,
right?
Cars
don't need parachutes, right? They can just drive out of fucking planes and they'll be fine.
Yeah, they
so
make indestructible
in part
cars.
2, no problems. But yeah, and then we got post-credits
But like I say, the whole thing so far, even that with the rocket launcher and even the cars that they had in the back, because they had some of them cars where it looks like they can go under other cars and stuff like that. It's literally GTA Online as a film.
Yeah.
That's the whole film is just that GTA Online with a bit of Rocket League thrown in.
Yeah. Do you explain the post-credit scene?
I can't really remember it properly, but I know Hobbs makes an appearance.
Yeah.
But just before the post-credit scene, we cut to Cypher and Letty walking through the Antarctica.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that bit.
And you're thinking, how the hell are they going to get out of there? And then all of a sudden...
Timing?
All of a sudden, a nuclear submarine pops up through the ice. And then who pops out but Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, or whoever her name is, who died in like 7 movies back and looking through binoculars. And I'm like, oh, okay, she's dead. And where did she get a submarine from? I mean, I don't think you can even buy them, so you've obviously stolen it from somewhere. So where the hell did you get...
Russians.
I mean, yeah, probably, yeah. So yeah, and then we cut to the post-credit scene, but no, I can't really remember what happens. I know what the kind of little...
Yeah, so basically, doing it looks like an old movie theatre, and going around, again, it looks like a scene of Saw, because you see the phone on a dark, dingy table with all these TV screens.
It's another one of his vision boards, isn't it?
Yeah, and on the other line, the person who's ringing is Dante, and he's saying, like, Don might have drove the car, which killed my dad, but you're the one who got out and shot the bullets into him. And lo and behold, it's The Rock saying, getting it wrong again, you some bitch.
You some bitch.
What the fuck, mate? Come on, at least get your lines right for £20 million or dollars.
Yeah, so, and then that pretty much sums up the film.
Okay, so that's been said.
So,
awards and pop quiz.
Yeah, so just before we do, I just want to, just touching on a few bits. So it's clear that Dom is dead or in a coma or something. Whoever wrote this thing has obviously played a lot of GTA Online because that's what the film is about. I was expecting Michael from GTA to turn up at some point. Who's the other one? Trevor.
Trevor. Yeah.
And what's the other lad called? I can't remember now.
I can't remember. It's been a while since I played it.
Yeah, but anyway, I was expecting them to turn up at some point, and yeah, because they took a lot of inspiration from it. A lot of inspiration.
Oh, yeah, a hell of a lot, mate.
The helicopters, the rocket cars, the rocket launchers, the Rocket League thing, the driving stupidly through stupid races, and the bombs on cars, and the indestructible characters, and people respawning, and all that stuff. But yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous, mate. So far-fetched, this film. Right, Eric, do you want to let us know these socials?
Yeah. So, if you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Please hit them buttons. Really do help out a small channel like ourselves.
Certainly do.
Try and get our subscriber numbers up. Please share as well. If you have any comments, please feel free to leave them below. And you can contact us on 6andbelowpodcast@gmail.com.
That's right.
And if you're on Spotify, please also leave us a 5-star review. And tell your none.
Right, okay, so last week and each week what we do is a little bit of a quote from one of the stars what are in that film we're currently reviewing.
Yes.
So for last week's was this one.
Now there ain't but 20,000 police in the whole town. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
And if you guessed that quote was from the film The Warriors, you was correct.
Hey.
Because that is starring Steve James. Not a big role, a very, very small role. More like a cameo back character walking around in the background. But he was in there on the credits. So that is why, that's the link from American Ninja was.
Yeah, because he played, what's his face, didn't he? In American Ninja, Action Jackson.
Hey, Jackson.
Hey, Jackson.
Hey, Jackson.
Right,
that is that one. But this week's is featuring a character, or a star, shall I say, from today's film. If you can guess what film this is, let us know down below our email.
So I think we're all gonna be dead way before that. And you know what? I don't mind. It's an honorable end. But we gotta shut Steppenwolf down. Superman's a no-show. You got no powers, no offense. This guy might be working for the enemy, we don't know.
If you know, you know. Do you know?
I think I do know, yeah. Well, I'll obviously tell you off camera, so I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah,
so if you think you know, again, please leave a comment below. And again, if you want to contact us, our email is sixandbelowpodcast@gmail.com.
That is right. And tell your nan.
Yeah, and please do tell your nan, share it. Go around your nan's house, get on a computer, TV, or whatever, her phone, and subscribe, please. The more subscribers, the better.
Yeah. Really would be.
We try to release content every week, and we're trying to keep up with, with any film, 6 and below, but we're trying to keep up with the more popular ones.
Old and new. We like a mixture, don't we?
Yeah. So we got a bit of a mixed bag.
Beethoven, American Ninja, they're all on there. And then you got Shazam.
Shazam.
Yeah.
So let's move on. So what's the next one? Come on.
So we got the awards.
Yes.
We have got the Best Actor award.
Yeah, that's right. You better walk away. Go on, walk away, because I'm going to burn this motherfucker down. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
That's right.
So the King Kong Award.
Training Day.
Yeah.
Who's your best actor?
So I liked Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
I thought his role, his portrayal of this villain, he's probably one of the most enjoyable villains I've seen in a while.
In a long time.
He just gets crazier as he goes along, and he has some cracking one-liners, and just the way he acts and everything like that, he's just nuts. And to be honest, I don't know how he gets away with half of it, but obviously he's just going around kidnapping every bloody guy's family.
Isn't it? Yeah.
If you're a henchman out there and you've got kids, then you're
in this time.
I just want to know where he's storing them all, to be fair. But it must just be some kind of pyramid scheme of like henchman kids, going all the way down. But yeah, no, I thought he played it really well.
Yeah.
And I almost liked him.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've gone for the same best actor, Jason Momoa, on this one.
Yeah.
But I've got to give an honourable mention to John Cena.
Yeah.
I thought as an acting perspective, like with the emotion was there. He wasn't a massive part in it, but the scenes that he did play, I thought he played them really well.
Yeah, it was hard because a lot of the characters I tend to find, because they've been playing the same roles for so long, the characters I imagine have probably become more of themselves, just kind of an exaggerated version of themselves, maybe. Obviously, I don't know these people in real life, but that's kind of the impression I get. But like when you get someone like Jason Momoa, who you usually see in like films like Aquaman or even in Game of Thrones when he was Khal Drogo, wasn't he?
Yeah.
This is a far cry from them roles.
To be honest
showing
with you,
more of his comedic side.
Yeah, I believe that this is a little bit more his character, the way he actually is in real life, and always a little bit like cuckoo, like a bit on the edge type thing.
Yeah.
Because I've heard rumors on like some YouTube videos and stuff where they're talking about it. That, do you know Aquaman?
Yeah.
Okay. So during the filming of Aquaman Part 2, I think it might have been with Amber Heard. During the case with Johnny Depp when it was all going on, she actually put official complaints in about Jason because sometimes he was turning up on set pretending to be drunk and dressed up as a Pirates of the Caribbean.
Dressed up as Captain Jack
kept
Sparrow.
saying to her, like, don't take a shit on my bed or stuff like that. Because in the court case,
don't take a shit on me.
When the court case was going on, he made an appearance on the TV as like one of the witnesses.
Right.
And he just ripped the shit out of her on that as well.
Amber Turd.
Yeah, so I'll try and show you that a little bit later on, that clip.
Oh,
but yeah, pretty funny, and yeah, I think that could be a little bit of him out there.
Like maybe, like if he was like that in real life and stuff, apart from like the sociopathic and psychopathic tendencies, I reckon he'd be quite fun to hang around with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially with his foreshadowing, because I'd want to know what lottery numbers are coming up, because obviously he seems to know the future. He is some kind of fucking wizard / genie in this. But no, I think as an actor, just the fact that he's playing something I've not seen before and he plays it really well, as acting goes. To me, that's good. If you're doing something that you don't normally typecast to do, it works well. So yeah,
exactly. Next up, we've got the Steven Seagal Award.
I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent. To the blood bank.
That is right. He's going to take you to the bank. The blood bank.
Also known as the Golden Seagull Award. So, Darren, do you want to go first? Who's your Golden Seagull going to go to? Yeah,
so this is for the worst acting performance.
Yes.
Again, let us know down below in comments, guys. Let us know your best actor, worst actor, best character, worst character, and the 3 things you liked about it, and your rating out of 10 as well for this film.
Leave it in the comments.
Okay, yeah. For my worst performance, I've got to go for the big guy himself, Vin Diesel.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. I don't know what it was about him, right? Every single scene that he was in, right, he kept pulling weird faces all the time. He can't act for shit. And every time he was talking, trying to be serious, I don't know if you noticed it, he had his eyes closed.
Yeah.
His eyes, right, it was open like normal, like, then he would start acting and go, "What you on about, lady?
Do you know what I watched?
We're a family. We're a family." It's like, what are you doing with your eyes?
I'd say the only film that I've ever really seen him in that I thought he was like a fairly alright actor was, I think he was...
Don't want to say Pitch Black.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say that, yeah. With Riddick.
Bloodshot, have you seen that one?
No.
That's a little bit of a far-fetched one.
Did you know
he
I
has
was gonna say?
superpowers.
Pitch Black, you bastard. No, but I know what you mean. The other one that I watched him in, like, not so long ago, but I remember when it first came out, Triple X, the original Triple X. I thought,
oh my god, back in the...
I thought that was a good film when it first came out, and then I watched it not so long ago, and it's so absolutely shitting corny. It's ridiculous.
We might have to try and have a look if that's on our list.
Triple X. But I'd say My Golden Seagull, right? To be honest, I found it quite hard to pick a bad actor, not because there weren't any, but because there were so many bad actors in the film.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, don't get me wrong, they weren't bad, but they weren't kind of, they're never going to be up there like bloody Daniel Day-Lewis type style or Leonardo DiCaprio, or, because they're all just basically just character actors, just kind of playing their part. But anyway, I went for Ludacris mainly because he's not real, and because he's just a CGI figment of our imagination. So that's who I decided to go for. That. Yeah,
I can definitely see that happening, mate.
Yeah. So, what we got next? Best character?
Best character, I've gone for Dante.
See, I've gone the same, yeah. So I've given him actor and what are you showing me?
His eyes.
Oh. I think that's just because he's getting old, isn't it? So
every single scene.
We're just currently looking at the scene when he's nursing Brie Larson after she's just been shot in the shoulder,
and that's a crap acting scene as well.
His face looks like a scrunched up testicle, and he's got his eyes closed. But yeah, I'll try and put a copy of it up here just so you can see what we're currently watching.
So yeah, Dante anyway.
But Dante, yeah, for the best character. What about the worst character?
No, worst character. I've gone for Letty.
Really?
Yeah, she was annoying.
She was a bit annoying.
Yeah, she was just like really, really annoying through this.
To be honest, you probably could have taken Letty out of this film and I wouldn't have noticed. I'll give you 3 guesses as to who I've gone for, and just based on previous podcasts that I tend to go for if there seems to be one of these in the film.
Brie Larson?
No. Think smaller.
Smaller.
Think
one of the henchmen?
No, smaller.
Dwarfs? There's not a dwarf in this, is there?
There's no dwarfs, but there's a child.
Oh yeah, you don't like children.
I don't. I thought you would have got that straight away. I put the kid, little B. It was just worst character. Again, I give you Letty because I'd say you could have took Letty and little B from the beginning and said they've gone on vacation to Hawaii for 6 months. And I wouldn't have noticed any difference. No. And John Cena would have still been alive.
I don't know what it is, right?
And he could have just not been in the film at all.
Yeah, I think her voice was quite annoying in this.
Letty?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Her voice was quite annoying.
Oh.
It's just like dead naggy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like dead whining, nagging all the time, all through it. And it's like the fight didn't need to have a little bit of a fight. It's like, because her character's basically doing jack off through it. It's like, to try and mix it up a little bit.
The only other one.
Let her have a fight.
The only other one really would be Mia. It was kind of like she didn't need to be in the films at all.
There was a lot of characters like that. I think just turned up for a paycheck, mate.
Just kind of hanging on, and the fact that how much did she say she got paid? Like $800K,
something like that. Yeah,
for like 2 minutes of film time. It's ridiculous.
Right, 3 things you liked about the film.
Yeah, so I like the hand-to-hand combat fight scenes.
Yeah, they were good.
The shooting scenes and stuff, not so much, but I like the scene with Cypher when she gets her ass kicked. We talked quite a bit about that when she goes down in the elevator and so on. The fight scene with her and Letty, Cypher and Letty, was a bit shit, but I think it was just mainly because of the way it came about. We've got 4 minutes to kill. Let's have a quick bitch fight. But yeah, the hand-to-hand stuff, the martial arts kind of things and stuff like that. I thought it was really well. I've seen worse. The comedy parts. quite a few little comedy bits, and especially from like Dante and so on.
Mhm.
And for this one, I actually really like the villain. I really like the way Jason Momoa played the villain. I thought he
Yeah,
was.
I'd say Oscars award for that, isn't it?
I just thought it was just something different. He wasn't a typical antagonist who, like I say, I did comment a few times that he's kind of verging almost in Joker territory, but it worked. It worked, and it kept Dom on his toes. A
Oh,
bit,
it definitely did, man.
and the other guys. But you know, yeah, there's a few things that kind of like, obviously, like I mentioned, his clairvoyance and so on. The fact that I think he's a witch or a genie. But take away that, you know, he played crazy well. He played crazy very well. So they would be
really
mine.
well.
They would be mine. What about yourself?
Right, my three things, not in any particular order. I like the scene with Dante again. No, when he was doing the nails and the dead guys, and he was talking to them and stuff. I thought that was quite comical. You know what I mean? The way he's asking them questions. Oh, do you want to do this?
It's funny.
I like that. I like the cinematography.
Yeah.
On all the action scenes, I thought it was shot really, really well.
Yes.
You know, like all these scenes.
I like some of the drone shots as well. Because I always give props to people like when they're doing the drone shots, because some of the maneuvers and stuff you see when they're flying like through Rome and stuff like that, it almost looks like there's someone been there with like maybe an FPS drone or something and has flown through it, and they look really good. So
I like a lot of them shots.
Yeah.
And I like the punch bag when the guy jumps out. I thought it was quite funny. You know, the whole scene, like where Roman jumps and Ludacris is like, yeah, he got scared.
Yeah.
It's like, now I understand all this, I just don't understand that.
What the hell's that about? As the guy runs off and his wife runs.
So what's your rating out of 10?
You see, I think the thing with this, right, is although it's very unrealistic, and like I say, if you treat it more like a fantasy action film, it's overall it's a very entertaining film, and I think giving it the score it's got is a bit harsh.
5.6.
You've got it's 5.6.
Yeah, that's what it's been rated at.
I'd give it a 6.2.
6.2?
Yeah, I've seen worse out there that have had 6.2 or higher. You know what I mean? So I'd maybe just slightly over 6. I thought 6 would maybe be a bit too predictable, so I'm 6.2.
I've gone for a solid 6.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, do you know what? I didn't think it deserved
Predictable.
much better. I think, like you say, it's just a lot of unrealistic things in it. What let it down? And like you say, they've gone from being street racers to then being out in space, stopping nuclear terrorists.
Yeah,
they're finding family relatives here, there, and everywhere. They forget that they've fucking had grown up with, and then driving down dams on fire.
Well, I'd say there's a lot of Jesus Christ in this because there's a lot of resurrections and stuff, you know. But like I say, it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable.
It's enjoyable. Don't get me wrong.
I wasn't bored watching it. It didn't seem tedious. So I know you pulled up the board. So do you want to know where I put it, or do you want to go?
Oh, go on. Let's see where we're going.
To be honest, I'd say it was must see.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would say I would recommend it to be if you want something that's just kind of like just going to kill 2 hours and is going to be fun and is not going to be tedious to watch, and you know, and is quite funny in some parts and quite entertaining. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It will have you sat there saying, really that really just happened? There's no way that would happen. No way. But that's kind of adds to the almost fun of it in a way. Weirdly. It's kind of thinking, there's no way that's going to happen. How is that just... You kind of sat there with, what? But that's almost the fun of it.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. So just to add a little bit of context anyway for this part of it as well, if you are still listening on Spotify, you are legends, by the way, for sticking in this 4-hour podcast. It's the longest one we've done so far, for sure.
I think it's going to be, yeah.
So we've got 3 different categories. We have one to skip, worth a watch, and must see.
Yeah.
Just to let you know as well, whilst we're on this little section, on the YouTube as well, if you are intrigued what films that we've got in each different category, we've got playlists now on YouTube. So if you go onto our channel, you can go on a playlist for one to skip, worth a watch, or the must-see movies if you're interested in listening to them podcasts.
Yeah.
Personally, I probably would have gone for worth a watch. It's definitely not one to skip. Do you know what I mean? I think you should it's definitely worth a watch. It's good to have in the background and stuff.
Yeah.
But then again, with it being the 10th in the franchise, if you're a big fan of the other ones, then you're going to watch it, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? Just out of curiosity, really, because you've watched 9. Do you know what? I might as well watch this last one.
I would concede and say we can put it in worth a watch if you want, but I'd definitely say it's somewhere on the middle. somewhere around the middle.
I'm torn between them, if you're being honest with you, because I don't think it's a bloody great film.
I don't know, to be honest.
I probably wouldn't watch it again after.
I don't think it's. I don't think it's one of them films when I would say everyone has to see this before they die. So maybe it's not so much a must see, but it's definitely 100% worth a watch.
Yeah, 100%.
Just for the entertainment value alone, but obviously just maybe not go to. I would usually say go into it below expectations, but
yeah,
it's a Fast and the Furious movie, so you kind of. I don't know about you, but I tend to go into films like this with pretty low expectations anyway.
Yeah.
But like I say, it's entertainment. It's got comedy aspects. It's got action comedy. But treat it more like a fantasy, and you can't.
Got
really
a flip for it.
Huh?
Got a flip for it.
You could flip for it, yeah.
Okay, so I was trying to look for something. Do you like a coin or something?
So out of everything you've picked, what have you picked there?
It's just some like piece of paper type thing.
Okay.
So top side up is worth a watch. Bottom side is going to be a must see.
Flip away, fella. Yeah, that wasn't. That was hardly a flip. That it literally just rotated on its. Right. So we'll put it on worth a watch then. Yeah, worth a watch. Like I say, either of them would be happy because, to be honest, like I say, now thinking about it, must see. I wouldn't go out and say you've got to see this movie. You 100% got to go away now and watch it because I wouldn't because. It's not like one of the. It's not a classic. It's not going to turn into a classic film or anything like that. But it's definitely worth a watch if it's on and you want a bit of comedy and a bit of.
Right, okay, here's one for you. Yeah. Here's one for you. Right, just to try and describe which category it's going. Would you say it's better than any of the ones what are in our must see category?
I don't know. I'd
say it's on par with Shazam though.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably about Shazam. I'd say I'd definitely say it's better than the ones we've currently got in the worth a watch category.
Yeah.
And definitely better than the ones in one to skip. But pop it into worth a watch.
I was about to put it into must see then.
Put it into must see.
Change the mind to the opposite way around.
I'm really, really on the fence with it because I do think it's definitely a film you need to. Well, you don't need to watch it. But I would recommend that you go and watch it just for it's entertaining. It's an entertainment film, but just don't go into it expecting realism. You will sit there going, "What the hell did I just see?"
Yeah, it's more realism in Harry Potter, like you said.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like you need to rebrand it as a fantasy film. Not
what category are you putting it in? This is where it's hard, right? When there's always two of us. Right, if we had a third person, it'd be like not unanimous voting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I think if we're not in agreement, I think we need to go down rather than up. So I think we need to go worth a watch.
Worth a watch.
It's definitely worth a watch, but I am on the fence as to whether it is, like I say, must see. I'm going around in circles again, so put it in worth a watch. Guys, it's definitely worth a watch.
It is definitely worth a watch, yeah. Like you say, it is entertaining. Yeah. It's done its job, I suppose, as a film for being the entertaining value.
It left a lot of questions, and we've covered a lot of them here. So if you've got to the end of this and you still think, I might go and give this a watch. Obviously, we've covered a lot of it, and you're going to have a laugh, and you'll probably come to some bits and go, oh yeah, that's what they were talking about. Yeah. Or you might want to show a friend and say, look at this garbage. Look as he hits this crane and crashes into the Vatican, and somehow the car still drives off. If you like indestructible, if you like indestructible cars and you like Rocket League, or even better, if you like GTA Online and you think, well, you know what, I just want a bit of a break from playing, but rather than watching some Twitch streamer play it, I'm going to watch a film version of it. This is it. This is literally GTA Online, the movie. GTA 5 Online, the movie.
Right, what have we got next week coming up?
Next week we have, I can't remember what it's called.
Rebel Moon, new film on Netflix.
Yep. It's got pretty poor reviews at the moment on IMDb, so we're going to give it a watch and see if it's one to skip, worth a watch, or a must-see movie. So
5.6 it is.
5.6, so yeah. So feel free, join us next week. We'll be reviewing that. We'll give you our honest take on it. We'll give credit where credit's due. If it's any good, we'll let you know.
Yeah, definitely.
If not, we'll shit on it. We'll shit on it, and we'll pop it into one to skip with the rest of the shit.
Yeah, that's it.
So I think I've succeeded in toning back my Tourette's this week, so long may it continue. Hopefully.
He's like, sorry guys, right, because he's not normally, if this is your first time watching this podcast or anything like that, he's not really this placid. He's normally a little bit more of like say Tourette's mode kicks in. This shit is like trying to be a college professor this week.
Bombs coming out of my mouth. But like I say, I've had some criticisms from a couple of people, And for some reason, the people who I know doesn't really bother me, but one stranger that Darren knows seems to mention that I've got Tourette's, and all of a sudden I never want to swear again in my life. Don't know why, but anyway.
One extreme to another. Anyways, thank you very much for listening, and thank
we
you very much for watching.
We appreciate it. And please, if you can like and subscribe, please hit them buttons.
It means a lot.
I know we ask you, and we seem to nag, and I bet every YouTube channel does ask you, but it really does help. Because we really want to try and grow this channel. More films to come. Like I say, we're trying to release weekly at the moment, but it just depends on how the editing goes in our schedule. But we appreciate everything, any support you can give, and please comment, like, subscribe. And I think that pretty much wraps everything up. So I've been Eric. This has been Darren.
Nice to meet you.
This has been Six and Below Movie Podcast. I'll catch you next week.